Thoughts on this game, Chewy?
Well, there's a couple of key stats to look out for in terms of game trends. Definitely the ground ball gets. Since the start of 2020, Bulldogs second for ground ball differential, plus 20 against the Magpies last week. West Coast, they've been ranked 18th. But for the Eagles, since 2018, when they've taken 100-plus marks or more, they've won 26 out of 27. Individually, speaking of the forwards, Josh Kennedy, not only a bag of 10 against the Bulldogs, but also 2 bags of 7. He averages just over 3 goals per game against the Western Bulldogs, which is his best strike rate against any of the Victorian clubs. And the other key forward is Oscar Allen, career high 4 majors last week. In fact, from his past 4 matches, I should say, he's nailed 11 goals straight, Duck.
Wow.
Yep.
All right, you got Wayne Carey and Ross Lyon for your Triple MC Super Special comments. What do you got, boys?
Well, I really think the Bulldogs' absolute strength, that's always been spoken about, is the midfield, and it's going to be the biggest challenge for West Coast. But the three-headed dragon up there, Kennedy, Allen and Darling are going to be a real handful, because I still think they lack that key defender, and against quality, those weaknesses show out. So it's going to be a battle of midfields and West Coast enough supply on.
Yeah, contrasting styles, isn't it? As we've spoken about it in depth, we spoke to Simo not all that long ago. Clearly, West Coast go about it a different way. Bulldogs play a lot of midfielders that they then put forward, Brownie, and rotate through the midfield, whereas West Coast play forwards. So those forwards just play forward. Yeah. They don't come up into the midfield. So
they don't share the load as much.
That's right. So it is all about supply. If West Coast get enough supply, I think that they can kick a big enough score to beat the Bulldogs, because I think if the Bulldogs do have a little bit of a weakness at the moment, it probably is in defence. They've got a couple of their key defenders out. Notice Joe Hannison is their sub.
Yes.
Who, as we know, Norm Smith medal winner, but the fact that he's not even in their starting 18
is a great sign for them.
Easton Wood's another one that obviously isn't in as yet, so they've still got a couple of key position players to come back in.
And I think the centre square bounce, Nat Nui, first opportunity. No one scored more out of centre square bounces as a percentage than West Coast. So, and then I reckon Adam Simpson flagged the new rules. We're going to control the ball more than we ever have. It might be a bit boring, but we're going to take their pressure off us.
It'll be fascinating to see, and I coined this a few years ago, Howie, when I said Nick Nat is the Cyril Rioli of ruckman.
You did.
He does not need a lot of the footy to have a massive influence on the game, but the fact that the Bulldogs are so strong in and around the middle, to see how they shark his tap, because he literally puts it down the throat, doesn't he?
And Kelly, he's got real variety, though. That's the thing. He's not like Grundy dropping at the one spot. He's the full clock. He can hit him anywhere.
Absolutely. So, and that's the key. So these West Coast midfielders, they can be so proactive. They can be on the move, on the burst, because he just literally puts it on a plate.
But no shoeing, no yo. They're going to be really challenged in there. Will they do what Chris Scott said and say, well, we're a bit thin, we're going to go to your number one? Do they put some time into Bontempelli like Geelong did to Neil? So don't get beaten by what you know.
Bob Jane T-Mart, the toss has been held and won, Robbo.
Howie, the Bont won it, and he's going to the locket end. Notice that Coventry ended, had Frawley up there. That was a fantastic thing last night as well, Howie.
What'd you make of it all last night? Obviously very tight with Spud. Robbo, what did you make of the whole evening?
Very emotional. As time goes on, you actually get your mind around it. The girls, Anita and Akili, actually came back, the youngest one from overseas last night, to get here. It was fantastic to see them all and the way they're handling it. Big Plugger, that was a massive bonus to have his best mate here. Just his presence and inside the rooms. And I'll tell you what, Howie, a lot of past players came last night from 66 premiership right the way through Joey Montagne's year, my year, the whole lot. So it was fantastic support by the football club.
Yeah, well said, Rob. Did you get a chance to have a chat with your old mate Plugger or not?
Yes, I did. He's really well, and his frame and whatever. The big thing was last year when he rode 150k for Danny Frawley in Ballarat. He was determined to come down and do that. He's in good nick, the big fella.
Yeah, great to have Mickey Roberts on board yet again.
Just to touch on Nick Nat's influence, they're the number one team for hit-outs to advantage from 2020.
Give us a tip, Rossi.
Bulldogs for mine.
Duck.
West Coast for me.
Brown Dog.
I'm going to go the Dogs.
Two-man.
Bulldogs.
And Robbo's going the Dogs as well. All right, we're all set for a start on Sunday afternoon football. McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. Here's Noodles Brown.
Nat Nui and Martin in the middle. English started out a full forward. Bounce in the middle. What a game this is. The two best midfields in the competition. The umpire Not a great bounce to start with. It gets outside the circle, and he has to throw it up again. So he comes in pretty quickly, just adjusts, asks who's rucking, and it's the same two that just did it then. And Martin tried to jump up. Nat Newey tried to step around him. Bontempelli gets the first kick out of the middle. It's a high ball. Norton can't mark it. He launched at it though. Hearn picked it up, caught one high, then went to ground. Handball out, free kick.
West Coast Eagles.
He's going to get it. You heard Razor Ray, and he got one in the back, Hearn, and he'll take a free kick, and he goes short to Kelly.
Kelly, coach said he really trimmed down over the off-season. His kick's cut off though by Treloar. In his second game for the Dogs with a spearing ball inside 50. English is the big flyer. Liberatore, game 150, first kick towards goal. Wobbles, what a way that would have been to start. Behind for the Dogs, Eagles yet to score. Triple M, IJ Liquor scoreboard. IJ Liquor, proudly local, proudly independent. Choice Hotels around the grounds, Chewy.
Tigers leading the Hawks by 36 points, almost halfway into the final quarter.
Hawks leaving it late then, Chew.
Banger Hearn, one of the bigger kicks in the competition, runs about 20 and then hoists it into the middle of Marvel, looking for Darling, fisted back from him. Sheed had to be clean, he had a double grabber at it, that allowed him to come in and tackle him at ground level. Darling went back in, fed the ball out. Andrew Gaff didn't get a lot of the footy, only as far as Treloar, who sort of flicked past it Alfie Langer style out towards Bontempelli coming in. The Bulldogs hit the handball out towards Liberatore. Left foot ball inside forward 50. Good kick looking for Vandermeer, but fisted away by him. And Vandermeer said, I need a bit of height. The man in front of me 6'4", and it was too easy for him to fist it over the boundary line and we'll have a throw in.
Just so evident in the modern game, if you fumble, you just get caught. You just can't afford to fumble. Big fumble from Sheed.
Barras was the man that got the effective spoil away. Nat Newey from the bounce. Bontempelli looks for options. Goes to Caleb Daniel from 35. Should kick the first of the match. Hooks it. Whistle off play though.
He's going to get another shot.
Did he get disposed of incorrectly after he got rid of the footy?
That's what the umpire's saying. Triple M, Harvey Norman replay screen.
Harvey Norman, your technology specialist, shop in store or online. We'll have a look at the replay, Duck. What do you think?
Just makes sense to have Harvey Norman as our replay screen, doesn't it?
It does.
Just having a look at the Harvey Norman replay screen. Yeah, just got a little knock after it. I don't think there was much in it.
Not much in it, but unnecessary. They'll be disappointed, West Coast. Like Shannon Hearn put his head over the ball before, took the heat. That's the attack on your ball, the ball you want. You don't want the little cheap shot afterwards.
Caleb Daniel coming off a wonderful season. No real angle to speak of. No real problem to speak of. The Doggies are on the board for the first major of the match, 117. The Eagles yet to score. Triple M, IJ Liquor scoreboard. IJ Liquor, proudly local, proudly independent.
And they're all getting over to little Caleb because, as we know, he's the general in their back line now. So to sneak down and get the first goal as a defender, and as a forward, there's nothing worse than when a defender kicks a goal on you.
Well, you're looking to rotate in the middle, so you don't have to walk back and see him, aren't you? So, but that's been an intense start. Both teams intense, been signals, strong attack on the ball. A lot of pressure on the ball carrier already. And
that free was Jones gave that free away, so we didn't clarify who that was.
So Red Z lending stats, Caleb Daniel since 2019 averaging 23 at 81% efficiency, but leads the Bulldogs for scores for generated from the defensive 50.
Red Z lending, loans for the self-employed. Ash Chur on board today. It was Ethan Meldrum last night, kept calling him Ash. He was disappointed. Out of the middle goes McRae. Got a stack of the footy again last week, 30 plus. Does it quite often. The ball towards centre wing. Hard one to take. Going in hard was Kelly, but the Bulldogs through Bailey Smith. The Eagles haven't been forward yet. Now the Dogs move down towards half forward. Josh Bruce took 11 marks last week. His highest since 2015. But he opens up the pretty ordinary kick and kicks it straight back to the Eagles.
That's Nelson. The long flowing blonde locks marking in the back pocket, city side. The Eagles just need to steady and get their hands on the footy. Barras takes a nice mark on the outer wing. Umpires in a sort of pale blue today. Now Shepherd in the middle of the ground. His kick smothered by Bontempelli. Important ball to be won in the middle here. Treloar got his man high, and that man, Jermaine Jones, will get the free kick.
So it's a bit callous. The tackle called by the non-operating umpire and Ray and the Eagles. The Dogs had a fast start last week. They put 3 on the Magpies very quickly, but this is where they're dangerous. Inside forward 50, Kennedy can't mark it. Fist at the ground level. The Dogs need to be clean, and they are. Williams, right foot ball. Here's Bruce. He's got some space.
Josh Bruce has got the bright green fluorescent boots on. Takes a bit off the kick. It's Lockie Hunter, the hard runner, on the outer flank. Bontempelli, the skipper, wants it inboard. He gets that. Just taking a bit of speed out of the game here, the Western Bulldogs. They lead at 7-0. That's a good hit. Norton on a long lead.
Norton, he's got a player running. It's Bailey Smith, that long flowing lock. You've got a couple of players on, but he has to go back over the mark. Now the lead comes up. Good kick into the pocket, and the mark's going to be taken by English. Double lead on that occasion from English was good. He was going back towards goal, didn't get it. Then he presented back up at the footy. And he's a dangerous commodity inside forward 50 with Stephen Martin at this footy club.
Well, that's the second occasion when the Bulldogs have gone forward. They've actually had the extra forward outnumbering the Eagles' defence.
So English, I think he looks like a tall version of Bill Clinton.
Oh, I don't mind that, Nate.
You like that?
Yeah.
So here he comes, top of the square, sets it up. Norton to be the flyer. Couple of players, West Coast Barras knocked it down. Now here's She clearing the area.
She to Allen, takes a strong mark on the outer side. What an impressive young player this man is, Duck. Oscar Allen.
Yeah, he's got good hands, moves really well. Obviously will pinch hit in the ruck, but he could play as a permanent forward. That's his agility.
194 centimetres, 91 kilos. My man Brad Shepherd, who I enjoy his work, Duck, gets a nice possession.
I'm looking forward to watching McGovern play today because I think Darcy Moore's taken over the number one key defender in the game, and McGovern likes to guard space. He's not a one-on-one player, so it'd be fascinating today to see how he goes.
100% won't. As Barras zones off and rolls off. So, the Doggies going to have to pass the ball in. If they kick it in high, bar Norton, they can't compete in the air against those two.
Nice transfer by the Eagles to the outer side to the skipper Hearn. Looks for that man, Oscar Allen. Punched across the boundary line on the outer side. I found out during the off-season that my man Brad Shepherd is direct cousins with the Marsh boys, Sean and Mitch, and was a handy junior cricketer himself. Didn't know that.
Fascinating.
Yeah, we got that out of the way.
Well, I like him.
Boundary throw in outer side. English pushes in the back, and so the Eagles will get this free kick through Vardy, the former Cat. So Vardy wastes no time. Pumps it into the pocket. Darling will be the leap, and Darling takes a very good mark. That's going to be the issue for the Western Bulldogs today, and Darling 15 metres out on an acute angle.
And I know Darling, I think he's been All-Australian once, but this guy, I still think he's got another level. I think he can still get better.
We haven't seen the best of him yet.
No, I don't think.
Consistency-wise.
Yeah, I think he can still get better, this guy.
Look, the Dogs have done all the attacking. The West Coast Eagles, this will be their first shot at goal. Darling runs around, right foot, should be able to do this, no problems, and he does. First goal to the West Coast Eagles. The Dogs lead by a point early stage of this first quarter on the Triple MIJ Liquor scoreboard.
And we heard about Hayden Crosby pre-game. We play assertive, we play up in front, but that gives those key forwards like Darling the room to run and jump at the ball. That was an uncontested mark 10 metres out for goal. And I think that's where the new rules and the quicker ball movement is going to catch them out.
Yeah, he was All-Australian 2019 when he kicked 59 goals. But I tell you what he does, and I'm just looking at the Harvey Norman replay screen, and I know TV doesn't look as defined as he normally looks. He's I don't know, he just looks a little bit bigger. Brownie, his arms, not as much definition as what they normally
I think Duck's saying that he's put on a bit.
Well,
he's a tremendous athlete.
He does, and
exactly
the thing that I like, he can make the easy look really hard at times. That's where I think he
in the
can
grand
get better.
final, he had a couple of moments, those drop marks. Fortunately, recovered in his last grand final, and it didn't cost him. But the pressure of the game sometimes gets to him.
Just a bit out of nick, apparently. Your man Darling, who looks like the old proverbial brick outhouse to me. McRae, Bontempelli, inboard, nice build up for Taylor Giray, the former Hawk, drives the ball forward, but Barras, he with all the hairs, got it deep. Choice Hotels around the grounds. Two-man, the Hawks and the Tigs.
Tigers by 35 points over Hawthorn, 20 minutes into the final quarter.
Duck, you mentioned about McGovern. Where does Harris Andrews sit in that conversation?
Harris Andrews?
Yep.
Harris Andrews and Darcy Moore, very different. Harris Andrews is a big spoiler. Darcy Moore's a metres gained defender.
So Bailey Williams on centre wing.
Different, but both very good at what they do.
Short ball, the lead comes up from Dunkley moves the ball quickly. Duray. She knocks him over. Could be 50. No. Ray said, get up. You're faking that one.
Lucky.
So Duray, short little ball, finds Keith, the former cricketer. Was a very good swing bowler. Alex Keith, left foot ball into the pocket. Bruce from the back, fisted away. And the Eagles just navigating that quite comfortably at the moment when the Dogs kick long. And it's 1-1-7 the Dogs, 1 straight 6 the Eagles, 1 point lead. We've played 10 minutes in the first quarter.
What do you got, Chewy?
Bontempelli, number 1 ranked player, 7 disposals, 3 centre clearances.
Ball spins back into play. Dogs deep in attack. Kelly taps it towards Shepherd. Related to the Marsh boys, direct cousin. You weren't aware. Wallace can't get the ball clear. What are you saying, Rossi?
Well, the last entry by the Bulldogs, Bruce was 25 metres clear of Barras. They just need to lower their eyes. They actually kicked it to his direct opponent. They kicked it straight to Barras. So that's going to be the challenge.
Umpire elevates. Bontempelli's been good. Trelaw's not going to bring that whack far enough. And it goes across the face, 3 for 1 behind, 1-2-8 the Dogs, 1 straight 6. That's on the Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard.
Triple M Seabus Super Special comments. You got Wayne Carey and Ross Lyon on a Sunday, the best there is, delivering consistent long-term returns for members. Seabus for all of us. It's Carey and Lyon. And good grab by English. Wasn't paid.
Top of the arm.
Gee whiz. Markle free kick.
Yep.
She gets a free ball to 1-on-1 deep. Kennedy battles away with his man Gardner. Kennedy gets out the back now. Smith arrives for the Dogs to provide a bit of help. They edge the ball forward. Taylor Dray gets one right in the mush. Spills out towards Langdon. He can't get a clear handle on it. Ryan hooks it round the corner. Not enough hook on it though. 1 behind. West Coast 1-1. The Dogs 1-2. Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard halfway through the first.
Had to be a free kick to English, was it?
Free kick or mark.
His
It was
arm,
certainly a mark.
it was a mark or a pull of the arm,
100%,
chop of the arm.
yeah, wrong decision.
Caleb Daniel to do the kicking out. I don't think there's a better decision maker with ball in hand in the AFL at the moment. Long ball looking for English. Hits the ground level. Bontempelli been outstanding so far. His handball went back to Dunkley. McRae turned around on his left, pumped it towards centre wing, and well done by the young man Cole. Just outbodied his opponent on that occasion and took the mark and went backwards to McGovern.
Jeremy McGovern, true centre half back, Marvel Stadium. Nice intense game underway here. Gaff, the accumulator, how's he going? Chew on the Red Zeds.
Red Z, 2 touches.
Spreads it further wide to Duggan, who's got a further option out on the City side.
Stand, play on.
And that's Rotham. Called to go now. Drops it deep into the pocket towards Kennedy. Overruns the footy. Trying to get a handle on it was Langdon. He's lively early. Now the Eagles continue to press inside 50. Good tackle applied by the Dog defenders. And the umpires will separate them 20 out from the Eagles' attack and goal. West Coast are 1-1. The Dogs are 1-2. That's all on your Triple M IGA Liquor scoreboard.
They've got some very good players at ground level here, the West Coast Eagles, if they can just clear this ball. And they do. The ball in a dangerous position. Gardner, his handball wasn't great. Coming back in was Daniel, has to be clean here, and he was. Short ball finds Taylor Duray in the back pocket. Another chip towards Bontempelli. Sweeping handball. Smith, he's got to run on the outside. That's Keith. Keith now. He's got a couple of players moving forward. Steps back inside. He zigged when he probably should have zagged. And it wasn't a great kick at the end. It's allowed McGovern to come in. The ball just hang a bit in the air. And then it gets out of bounds. We'll have a boundary throw in.
Bob Jane T-Marts. Book a free Bob Jane T-Marts tyre safety check today and keep your family safe on the road this Easter. What type of crowd do you think are in there, Robbo? Nice atmosphere?
Late comers, Howie, real late. It was desert-like in early days, but they've come in. First level looks pretty good.
Okay, what type of number do you think, Chew? This is your area?
Yeah, I reckon there's about 21, 22,000.
Okay, Bailey Smith sweeps it to game number 150 at Liberatore. Shoves the ball forward. Shallow entry inside 50. Well done. Vandermeer steps one way, steps the other. Gets himself in and out of trouble all in one move. Now to Smith. The little Nabos kicker. After him this week. I like that. He shorts the ball.
Thanks, Oscar. Stand.
To find Dunkley.
Play on.
Takes his time. Goes all the way back around the basketball key, for want of a better term, to Gardner. He spreads it further wide. So it's a patient build-up from the Doggies.
Yeah, I don't mind this. They've gone from one side to the other, and it's in the hands of Caleb Daniel, who goes with a very short ball. I don't think it was intended for Liberatore, but he was the man who marked it.
You called it really well, Howie. The West Coast flooded right back into the back 50, left 3 defenders around the arc, so they just went around the basketball key to the open side. That opens up the space to hit a lead up.
Liberatore looking for options. Now he runs, and he wants to run and get that hook on the kick, but in doing so, trying to get extra distance, he went with a big one, and it hooked a long way out of bounds on the full, just on the Triple M Harvey Norman replay screen. Tony Liberatore Senior sitting in the stands. I had the pleasure of sitting in front of Tony at a Bulldogs Hawthorn game many years ago, and I won't be sitting in front of him again. He's a very aggressive supporter, Tony.
And how long has he operated as Tony Liberatore Senior?
Well, since he had a
son called Tom.
Liberatore Jr.
Right, just doesn't stack up for me, Brownie. That just doesn't stack up, Guru. She's all over the MCG, is it, Ash?
It is, Howie. It's the Tigers defeating the Hawks by 29 points, 4 majors to Jack Rewald.
Nicely done. Keith Scott on the outer wing. Plays on. The former Melbourne star with the driving ball forward. Allen's back in defence. The Eagles come to the rescue with Shepherd. Toe pokes it. Only as far as Dunkley. Not sure how he disposed of that one. Quick hand pass to Bruce. Should kick the goal from there. Bruce does exactly that. The Dogs have got their second. Sharp game of footy this. The Bulldogs 2-2-14. The Eagles 1-1-7. That's all in the Triple M IJ Liga scoreboard.
Well, really nice finish. Had the time and the space. The simple feed out the back to a player in a little bit of space. But I just want to talk about Bontempelli. What a first quarter he's having. Still 8.5 minutes to go in the first. And what's he had, man? I think he's had 5 clearances and 11 or 12 disposals.
11 touches and, 3 out of the middle in regards to those clearances.
And what other clearances? Because West Coast has started to roll 2 forwards up to the stoppages. They must be feeling a little bit disadvantaged there, Stu.
Yeah, spot on, Ross. It's 7-2 the Bulldogs way, 3 zip out of the middle.
Book a free Bob Jane Team Arts tyre and safety check today and keep your family safe on the road this Easter, Robbo.
Yeah, he looks good, Josh Bruce. He reckons he's lost 4 or 5 kilos pre-season. So when he was on Triple M, he spoke about that. So he's in good nick.
The Dogs get one back for McDonald's and Remont Water. Triple M Rocks footy. The umpire picks out a free kick. Nat Newey in the middle. High ball, hard one to mark. It doesn't really spin that well. Liam Ryan went up very, very early. He was up so high that he went nowhere near the footy. It was in brilliant stuff, though, and they go forward. The Dogs under pressure. Good chain of handballs. McRae fed it out to Smith. Another one over the top, but they've coughed it up. Duggan, handball back. Sheed on the right foot. Screws it back. There's 5 Dogs back there. Take your pick. And Bailey Dale's the one that takes the mark.
And the reason why that wasn't a free kick against Liam Ryan is because it was on his own man.
I love it, Duck. I love it.
He was on the shoulders of one of his teammates.
We had this debate with Roosie 2 years ago. Roosie didn't like it. We were like, come on. That's what people come to the footy for. People talk about Keziah Pickett. For mine, it's the number 1 bums on seats man, Liam Ryan, Duck.
In actual fact, it was nearly a workplace issue because he nearly hit his head on the roof. That's how
Duck, give me a tap so I meant to laugh about
Look at the Harvey Norman replay.
Come on, Duck.
Look at that.
Yeah, he was standing on the top of Langdon. Blood rule, Bob Jane, Robbo.
Yep, the number 7 is off blood rule with the nose. Got cleaned up Langdon in that contested centre forward, so he's off with the blood rule.
Thank you, Robbo.
Yeah, it was Langdon's head that he was on.
Yep. Duck still laughing at his work in the back row. McRae, Nat Newey at ground level. Moved forward by the Eagles to a 2-on-1 contest. Vardy, the former Cat, halves it. Keith at ground level. Or Dunkley, he might have taken the legs out of Sheed. He has.
You've got a mismatch forward. Kennedy on Bailey Smith if they can get the footy in quickly. It's a 1-on-1 the Dogs don't want. Kennedy has just come off the bench.
I don't like that. I don't like that rule. It was brought in for sliding with your knees.
Yeah, he went head first, hands
right.
on the ball.
Yeah.
I thought the West Coast player come late and actually tunnelled himself.
Exactly right. It was brought in, Ross. Remember, it was Thomas, wasn't it, sliding in on his knees in the wet. Knees first. That's the dangerous one.
And that cheer you heard, it was smothered off the boot, out of bounds, boundary throw in, out of side. Sheed has another go at it, screws it around the corner, bouncing ball, Geray lets it bounce out of bounds and we'll have a boundary throw in.
So Stephen Martin's certainly been a great pickup for the Bulldogs, hasn't it? Taking pressure off English, and his experience just halving the contest so his ground level players can get to work here.
Competitor, isn't he?
What are you seeing on the Reds' Chulenko?
Geez, those ground ball gets 19-9 the Bulldogs way.
Nat Newey grabs it out of the ruck on the second attempt. Shoves the ball forward. Liberatore. Hand passes to space to Dunkley. Redden applies a tackle. McRae picks up the loose ball. This is good. Treloar now all the way through to Scott. He loops a hand pass over. Again, this is good from the Bulldogs to McNeil.
Geez, well done, Shepherd.
Yeah, he cut it off well. Did Brad Shepherd. What'd you see, Duck?
Oh, he just read it, left his opponent and got over there to support. And now West Coast end up with a free kick. In actual fact, it might be... No, it's not Shepherd. Who is it? But he saved a certain goal there, Shepherd. They're out, the Bulldogs. Geez, their hands are quick.
And the spread, they're looking vulnerable on the spread here, West Coast. The defence is standing up. It's unsustainable if they can keep this going, the Bulldogs.
You know he's related to Marshall, Shepherd?
Direct cousin. Fancies
so the
himself
Dogs
as a
in the middle
cricketer.
of the ground. McRae, little worm burner. It's a good one too. They forward handball. Under pressure, Treloar got it out towards Wallace. Back to Liberatore. Liberatore sized them up, but the West Coast Eagles are doing really well in defence at the moment, getting back in numbers, and they take another mark and they'll get it out towards Darling.
Started well in game number 150, Tom Liberatore Jr. He's playing some really good football, Noodles. I like what he's doing. And as the ball goes to the defensive point of the square, Redden.
Stand. Play on.
He's got an option further wide towards Duggan. She chips in nicely.
You're out. Play on.
And he hacks it down. Pack it on. Kennedy's got 20 metres on his own. Giray was out of position. Tell me about the kick.
Oh, it was just a beautiful kick to his advantage.
Well, he was on his own.
He had the mismatch.
He was on his own. Giray had to come across because Gardner made a bad decision to come forward and he just left Kennedy out the back. I think this is the tale of the game. When the West Coast get it there, they look a lot more dangerous, and Bulldogs dominating ground level, dominating entries, but they need to fix their last kick.
Exactly what we thought, isn't it? If West Coast get enough supply, you think they can win it. It's all about how often they can get it in there.
From the boundary line, Kennedy, it's going to be a really difficult kick.
Great kick.
Keeps it low. It is a beautiful kick of the football. Big JK, that is top draw. The Eagles get their second 2-1-13. The Dogs 2-2-14. So the last two inside 50s for the Eagles, Kennedy has had Giray on him and Bailey Smith on him.
Yeah, he got the mismatch, and that's why it was such a good kick. Sheed, I mean, he worked it out, saw that he had the mismatch, kicked it to his advantage. He was always going to mark it. But just talking about the Bulldogs and the way they move the footy, they're the number one handball receive last year, and what are they today, Two-Man, in terms of handball receive against West Coast?
Yeah, 45-14.
45-14 handball receives. They're contrasting styles.
And they're inviting a little bit of pressure, but they look great on the spread. It looks quick. The numbers at ground level, but it actually looks like that, doesn't it? It looks like they've got them covered at ground level, but it becomes an outside game.
Touchable on the line there. Very low.
Timmy English might have been able to get it.
So 2 goals apiece, and the Dogs lead by 14-13. Pick up a $2 McFlurry in Macca's loose change menu on your way home. That'd be nice to just enjoy this afternoon. Treloar, the bounce favoured him. It was a really good bounce for Treloar. Swings the ball across the ground. Martin picked it up. Bontempelli out towards Vandermeer. They run and carry. Right foot ball. It's a short one to Bruce. Started the game well. Bruce took 11 marks last week. He's got a player short. Lipinski turns, goes, smothered off the boot. Eagles an opportunity. Kelly's got Darling. Darling's going well as well.
Ryan providing a fast lead into the flank area. Now he's out the back, Liam Ryan. All Cripps needs to do is hit him. He might grab it and roll on towards goal. He does, Liam Ryan. He gets himself into trouble. Oh, he stepped around a man. Oh, Liam Ryan. That's why you pay to come to the footy, Chewy, to see that type of gear from Liam Ryan. Went one way or the other, got himself into trouble, out of trouble, into trouble, out of trouble, and kicked a goal. The Eagles 3-1-19, the Dogs 2-2-14. 5 points up the Dogs. How good was that, Ducky boy?
Fantastic. And just looking at the Harvey Norman replay screen, just looked at the player and said, how'd you like that, young fella? Absolutely brilliant. You just love when you see a player make another player look stupid. Just literally danced around.
They sold him the cow. They smelled the cow. Pull it back. But they made him pay. That's the Eagles. You make a mistake kicking them out of the mark, your defenders are napping a little bit, thinking he's going for entry. They're out goal side and it's all over. You blink and the hard running your Cripps off Giray.
It was just a cheeky little look, just to say, oh, there you go, young fella.
I hope Brucey's watching.
So the coaching point is he went to the outside shoulder. Don't go to the outside shoulder. Stay on the inside shoulder and they can't step you.
How do you mean, Ross?
If we had the replay, you go out. If you go to the outside shoulder, You start on the inside, keep them out to the boundary. They can't get inside you. You open up the gate.
2 in a row to the Eagles. Handball from Liberatore was good and now gets the Bontempelli. Streams out of the middle, puts it at the feet of Wallace. Great pick up from Wallace. Bailey Smith, handball backwards. McRae, short little chipper. Got it to Hunter. Hunter's 55 out. He needs a target. Someone to lead up at him. They've been bombing this in. West Coast been handling it okay. That's a good kick. And Norton led up and mark the footy in front of McGovern, and he'll go from 35 out a 45-degree angle.
And that's what they have to do on McGovern, because if when Norton leads up, they've got to use him, because as you can see, McGovern will try to sag off. They kick it long, and that just plays right into his hands. That's a beautiful
100%. And the trap is as a forward, because they stand off you think like you're free.
He goes.
You've got to lead up past them.
60% by foot, and that'll come down a little bit because that's a poor shot at goal. And through for one behind, 4-point lead to the Eagles. Let's head down to the boundary. Bob Jane team out to Robbo.
Langdon finally back on. They've spent all this time trying to control the bleeding out of both nostrils, so bound up, strapped up, ready to go, but they had to plug a lot with his nose.
Thanks, Robbo. He's wearing a bucket hat out in the pre-game, your man Aaron Norton.
Yeah,
Duck.
it's a weird hat.
Oh, good grab by Nat Nui, just too big, too strong. Open forward line again here. Kennedy's got men streaming forward of the footy. Gee, it's
Great
open
kick.
inside 50. Hooks it round the body, gives a one-on-one to his man who was running back with a fly. It was Jermaine Jones. It's punched through, but gee, it's open when the Eagles go forward. They lead at 20-15. That's all in Triple MIJ League.
And what they're doing, the kicking, they're leaving Kennedy out the back one-on-one, and he's a master at getting split, just pushing off Keith there to get 5 metres.
Jeez, I thought Jones could have made a bit better fist of that. He could have really launched at that footy. But
Yeah, you're right. Bontempelli did well to back into him.
Yeah.
And free kick will go to Wallace at half-back. He goes with a short one to Treloar. Quiet last week in his first game for the Bulldogs against the Pies. Had 18 disposals, but looked like he got lost out in the wing a little bit. Playing out there again today as the Dogs just inch the ball forward. So they're going very slow at the moment. West Coast have been able to control this Dog midfield so far. They've probably had the best looks at it. The West Coast Eagles, another short one, and finds McRae. Numbers, Ash?
McRae, red Z, 8 touches.
McRae, a low data. Hunter at ground level, front and centre. Hoiks it back inside forward 50. Martin went up with a fly. Couldn't take it. Handball was really good. Martin on the end of it. Hands and knees ground level. You don't often see a ruckman try and kick it off the ground while he's laying on the ground, but he did. And as you'd expect, he didn't make a very good fist of it.
Nice hanger on the outer side by Redden. Gives it to Ryan. They're an exciting team to watch and call, the Eagles. Again, kicking into space. Geray's got the speed coming back the other way. Zach Langdon with a nose taped up. Didn't have the speed to keep up now. The Dogs transition the ball to the wing. It's in the hands of Anthony Scott in game number 2. Sends it down the line. Nice from Bontempelli in the air.
And he turns and goes inside forward 50 to Norton. Good kick, good mark. Umpire calls to play on. Fans himself in a bit of trouble. Norton kicks it to the top of the square and English. They couldn't cover them all on that occasion. The ball moved too quickly, and English from the top of the square. He's a very good shot at goal, English.
and mark this one down to Geray. I mean, just to work back simply too fast for Langdon. Ran straight past him.
Langdon had the extra 10 kilos around his head.
He couldn't breathe with the strapping.
But that was 15 out, directly in front, puts the Dogs back in front.
But that's the template for the Bulldogs, Norton. That's 2 in a row now. Led up to the line, to the leg, in the vision of the kicker. Takes out the roll-off defender, and it's an easy hit up inside 50.
Amazing, though, when you can take that contested mark down the line like Bontempelli did. Whenever you've been able to take that, you go back 100 years in footy, the game opens up. Bontempelli takes a contested mark, plays on, gets it in quickly. He's had 14 disposals, 5 clearances, 4 score involvements, Bontempelli.
He's one smooth mover, isn't he?
Yeah.
1 point lead of the Bulldogs. Triple MIJ Liga scoreboard. 22 unplays, 20. And we played 28 minutes.
Red Z lending stats, contrasting styles. Bulldogs going at 1 kick to 1 handball. The Eagles since 2015 have the highest kick to handball ratio today. They're going at 3 kicks to 1 handball. The AFL average is 1.5 to 1.
That's why Chewy's been doing this for 20 years, and that's why he's the best by the length of the straight. 33 seconds on the clock. Adam Simpson didn't enjoy that in the Triple M Harvey Norman replay. Screen. Ray Chamberlain in the light blue. Nat Nui just grabs it straight out of the bounce. Already starting to exert an influence on this game. Pushes it forward towards Cripps. Bounces just before Cripps to Redden. Took a nice little hanger out in the wing earlier on. He splits it wide. This is a good build-up from the Eagles off the boot of Xavier O'Neill. Goes to Ryan! Oh, Liam Ryan, pay the mark! You got to pay the mark!
Not for you. No, Mark. I couldn't see Mark. Yeah. Mate. I couldn't. Sorry, guys. Both of us couldn't see it.
He's taken.
Oh, no!
Every day of the week.
He's taken an absolute genuine hanger.
Oh, no.
I don't care if it's no or not. You got to pay that. What do you mean he dropped it?
No,
Who's seen the replay?
He dropped it.
Did he?
Yeah.
All right.
It
Good
hit the
decision.
ground.
Good decision.
Oh, let's have a look at the Harvey Norman.
Triple M Harvey Norman replay.
So
Gets
he's
up,
got it there.
marks the ball, brings it down.
No control, and then it hits the ground there.
Oh, gee, you'd have
Very
to
good
pay
call,
it.
Wayne.
4 seconds. Only the West Coast Eagles can score. They're behind by a point. Nat Newey, because he grab it out of the ruck, he can't. The Dogs should be able to hold on. And I tell you what, Liam Ryan was a highlight reel in that first term. It was great football from both sides. The West Coast Eagles trail by a point. The Bulldogs 3-3-21. The West Coast Eagles are 3-2-20 for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M rocks footy.
That quarter for IGA Liquor. Proudly local, proudly independent.
For McDonald's.
Triple M rocks footy.
Footy's back and I'm loving it. Robot Building Supplies. From minor home renovations to multi-storey construction, Robot will get the job done right.
That is one of the best.
Triple M rocks footy on Melbourne's 105.1.
Marty Sheargold, now on Triple M.
You know what we need? You and I need a little weekend away camping together.
Oh, no thanks.
You're saying that now. You won't be saying that later when we're loading the 10 in the back. And I mean loading the 10 in the back.
The Marty Sheargold Show. New to Triple M Breakfast in 2021.
For the brand new Mazda BT50, the only ute that's the complete package.
With our best ever loose change menu, a little goes a long way at Macca's. Grab a McFlurry for just $2, a hamburger for $2, or 10-piece chicken McBites for $3. Available 10:30am to midnight for a limited time. Excludes McDelivery.
Footy's kicking off, and Telstra's giving you $10 off.
That is awesome.
Yep, $10 off.
Inspirational. This is massive.
That's right, $10 off.
That's off the scale.
Stream the 2021 Toyota AFL Premiership season with KO Basic for just $15 a month for 12 months. For Telstra consumer customers, redeemed by 31 May 2021. Roll under standard fees after 12 months. Minimum cost $15 for 1 month minimum term.
You know, there are more cyclists on our roads than ever.
That's why drivers must give at least 1 metre space in speed zones up to 60.
And at least 1.5 metres space in speed zones over 60.
And soon, the space to give cyclists will not just be the right thing to do.
It'll be the law.
Drivers, it will soon be law to give cyclists the space to ride safely. TAC.
At Liquorland, there's always great value, like a bottle of Wahoo Marlborough Sauvignon Blanc for just $7. So head into your local Liquorland today or shop online and collect your order in just 30 minutes.
Sparkies. Beacon Trade is here to support you. Open from 7:30 weekdays with special trade prices, free delivery and a huge range of lights, fans and electrical accessories at over 100 stores.
At Coles, we're helping lower the cost of your weekly shop with great fresh offers, like delicious in-season Aussie Shepherd avocados, 2 for just $4. Helping lower the cost of your weekly shop. Coles, value the Australian way. Offer ends Tuesday.
No, wrong music. Not this time. There's no mystery here. This is 100% conclusively proven beyond any shadow of a doubt. Budget Direct are the 2021 winners of Money Magazine's Best Value Car Insurance Award. That's better!
See if you should switch to Budget Direct, Money Magazine's Best Value Car Insurance for a third year in a row. Budget Direct. Insurance solved. Insurance issued by Auto & General Insurance Company Limited. Read awards and PDS information at budgetdirect.com.au to decide a product suit you.
Robot Building Supplies. From minor home renovations to multi-storey construction, Robot will get the job done right.
That is one of the best.
Triple M rocks footy on Melbourne's 105.1.
Shut up. The footy's on Triple M.
Triple M rocks footy.
This quarter for Beacon Trade. There to support Sparkies with 7:30am opening hours, trade prices and free delivery from over 100 Beacon lighting stores.
Liam Ryan providing the highlights early on with a goal and nearly an absolute genuine hanger, not paid. The Eagles 3-2-20 trailed the Dogs 3-3-21 by 1 point. Earlier on today, the Tigers beat the Hawks by 29 points. Bob Jane T-Marts, book a free Bob Jane T-Marts tyre safety check today. Keep your family safe on the road this Easter. Miss Mickey Roberts.
Howie, the West Coast bench were with you. I tell you what, they were dirty down here that Ryan wasn't paid that mark. Seriously. They're going off their scones down here. And I tell you the other thing, Duck. Jack Darling actually changed jumpers down here. He is cut out of granite. Seriously, I've never seen him in better nick. A little bit more of a touch-up with Langdon's nose in the huddle there. Really difficult to stop that bleeding. I reckon they've done that now with a couple more plugs.
Red Dead Lending stats, Q-Man.
Yeah, Bontempelli, number one ranked player, 14 disposals, 5 clearances. Bulldogs +9 in ground ball, but Eagles dominating the contested marks, 7-1.
Must be the Harvey Norman replay screen that...
Must have been.
They say that TV puts, what do they say, 10 pounds?
Yep. I need every single one of Duck. Yes.
You need
I've
every
taken your
single
punchline
one.
for you there, yes. Real. Are you going with the paper cuts or not? Are you going with the paper cuts?
No.
Okay. Thoughts on the game, Rossi?
Well, I just thought West Coast fullback, they'll be really pleased. Come into state, first time in a long time. Level at quarter time, looking really threatening forward. And their midfield, Sheed in particular, I thought stood up when they needed someone to. They rolled the forward up. They're controlling the air. They're halving the contest. And that's what they do. They counter-punch you, and they do it smoothly. They get out the back and open you up. Whereas the Bulldogs, I think they had real intent around the contest. Contrasting styles, high handball, run and gun versus, controlled, slice rate with elite foot skills and aerial dominance forward.
Absolutely. Not just uncontested marks. What are the contested marks, Two-Man, between the two?
Yeah, 7-1 the Eagles way.
Yeah, so they really do control the air.
21-20. The Dogs lead on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. Start of the second term. Supporting Sparkies with 7:30am opening hours, trade prices and free delivery from over 100 Beacon lighting stores. Away we go.
For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy. The Dogs lead by a point. Bounce in the middle by Ray. Not bad. Martin won it, but then Nat Newey just come over the top and pushed it his way. Out towards Redden inside forward 50. Kennedy got the sit. Takes the mark.
Well done, Nick Nat. So just to get there, it wasn't a great bounce, but he got there, got the ball, and then the follow-up. That's what Nick Nat's known for. Doesn't even need to get the ball sometimes, as long as he creates space for the midfield. But this will be his goal if Kennedy kicks this.
So Kennedy kicked the goal in the first quarter. A nice kick from just inside the boundary line. This for number 2. It's in a full pre-season for the first time in a long time. Josh Kennedy, stuttering approach, which is such a good thing for him because he does that. 48 metres out near the boundary, and he's got his second. And the Eagles back in front. 4-2-26. The Dogs are 3-3-23, and that's on the Beacon Trade scoreboard.
And that's centre bounce. I was just looking in the back half, the Bulldogs' back half, and Williams' positioning was about a foot in front of Kennedy. So that's relying on fierce tackle and pressure and a dump kick forward. Now, when they stream out, you could see it unfolding. You could see the fear in his eyes. They're streaming out West Coast, and they just kick it to advance over the top, and he just nudges. He's 6'4", 6'5", Kennedy.
Yep.
And Williams, no chance. So if that keeps happening like that, they'll have to change their positioning.
Well, as a forward, if a defender stood in front of you, it was happy days. They're just too easy to lose. You can lose them on the lead, and you can also just protect that space behind. And looking at the Harvey Norman replay, you summarised it beautifully, Ross. He just made it look easy. Just had to protect the space behind and lay back on it, take an easy mark.
Harvey Norman, your technology specialist. Shop in store online. 4 lead changes already. It's a cracker on a Sunday afternoon at Marble. McRae extracts it from the middle with a ball deep forward to English. Sport from behind. Bailey Smith arrives on the scene. Now Barras, an important clearing kick to space. There's a race on. 2 big men coming at each other from opposite sides. Dale, McRae tries to measure a pass to Norton. Fisted away from him by Rotham. Comes back to Bontempelli. Should have a shot from 45. The skipper misses to the outer side. The Dogs
and by
4. The Eagles 4-2. Sorry, Rossi.
Yeah. Well, by contrast, the Eagles, who are an assertive defence at times, centre bouncers, all back shoulder, come out and just on English and spoil from behind.
He's looking at the Harvey Norman replay screen there. Not sure the handball from Libba was a handball.
Hearn with a short one, and he got it back.
A throw, was it?
Now they release the ball towards Kelly on centre wing. They move that ball like lightning. The West Coast Eagles down towards half forward. Oscar Allen, haven't seen a lot of him yet. Couldn't take that one, and the ball goes out of bounds. Another boundary throw in.
Well, Tom Jr. has got very quick hands.
Choice Hotels round the grounds. Need a break? Book direct and stay with Choice Hotels. ChoiceHotels.com. Chewy, the Hawks.
Yeah, Hawks were defeated by the Tigers by 29 points.
And next up on the M's from the West.
Fremantle taking on the Giants up the stadium, 6:10 start.
And with Dennis Cometti, Lockie Reid,
the Beast,
Tanya Armstrong, the Beast, and Embers. Steph Martin picks it up, centre wing, takes on Hearn. Does well to release his arms out of the tackle, gets the ball to Hunter. He goes back inside to Lipinski, measures a little chipper. He's good. And the Dogs have taken the mark inside 50 in the hands of Latham van der Meer. He'll have a shot, the man from Barookna, from about 45, no real angle.
Well, just the ability to stand up in the tackle there. Steph Martin, big man, tackled, but just fought free to get his... release the ball out to a Bulldog player in space, and that just set up the goal here.
Career set shots for Latham van der Meer, 6 goals, 7. You want to kick this one from 48 metres out. Drifts right. Yeah, spot on duck, 6-8. So the Eagles are 4-2. The Dogs are 3-5. Set shots important today in what looks to be a tight affair. The Eagles lead it by 3 points on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. Supporting Sparkies, the 7:30am opening hours, trade prices and free delivery from over 100 Beacon Lighting stores.
Quick movement towards Duggan, still in the defensive 50. Got a couple of players moving for him. He goes backwards to Banger Hearn, who got a player on the outer side, leading up at him. It's a nice one to McGovern. Marks is still at half back though. They haven't moved a long ways. Howie's man Shepherd. He's going to go back inside defensive 50. So just trying to find a way out of this Bulldogs web at the moment. They're defending quite well. And the ball at half back with Barras. Another short one, still in defensive 50. Hearn into the middle. That's better. Now they run.
Shepherd shows a bit of dash. Run down from behind. Great tackle from van der Meer. Really good effort by Latham. Shepherd was off to the races. They'll turn it back the other way. Now Caleb Daniel, always effective with inside 50 balls. Wobbles this one unusually. Clean bowls Norton. Now Gaff, forced to kick on the wrong foot, so to speak, to Kelly. He kicks it into space. It's not a good effort. Kicks it straight to Williams. Bontempelli now coming back the other way. Little Chisler is good. Here come the Dogs. Through half forward. Short ball is good. And the mark is taken
Van der Meer again.
By Van der Meer, Duck, about 48 metres out. He'll get another chance.
Yeah, so he had a sider before. He doesn't look confident with the distance. He's looking around, but he good reward because he started it. He's chase, invariably he ends up on the end of it.
Latham van der Meer, his fourth disposal. He's kicked one behind so far moments ago. He's got the distance, hooked it again. 2 misses in the space of a minute. The Dogs are 23, the Eagles are 26. In fact, the Dogs are 24.
Overcorrected then, he missed.
Yep.
But I think you're right. He was just out of his... to get the distance, he just was straining a bit. He used to lose that bit of accuracy.
Hearn is going to go long and strong straight up the middle. It is landed right in the centre circle. Kennedy off hands. Bailey Williams, the recipient of that. Mitch Wallace is out. Long lead towards centre wing. Hustles and bustles and gets on the end of it.
He's playing
players going everywhere. What are his numbers, Ash? Red Z Lending.
Yeah, Mitch Wallace, he's only had a couple of touches.
So Duck said he's been quiet, and he has been. Wallace, inside forward 50. Out of bounds on the full. He's been quiet, and he hasn't used it.
Might not have been as quiet as you choose giving you.
Short change him, only 3 touches. He had 5 all up, actually.
So a couple or 5.
Yep.
Hasn't actually been that quiet.
Feel free to roll out the right information then, Ash.
5's not exactly prolific.
Thanks, Duck.
Barras sends a long ball to the wing. Big fly from behind from Gardner. Put his hands in the shoulder, cap style. Up by said play on. Back to Gardner. Hooks it round the body. Coming back, there was a Dogs player sandwiched. That was
McNeil.
Lockie McNeil. Now Dom Sheed, the grand final hero, has got it right in front of Robbo.
Had a stack of it last week. What's he had so far today, Ash?
Yeah, Dom Sheed, he's had 10 touches.
Just an accumulator of the finest order. Left football, wobbly one. It's going to be a shallow entry inside 50, but Big English gets back, and he took some good contested marks against Grundy last week, enjoying this dual role of ruck going forward. I think it's done his confidence the world of good. He's got the ball at half-back, called to play on by the umpire. He's going to go with a low one for Treloar, but it's not going to get there. Duggan was able to intercept and then bang it back in with the left foot, straight back to English.
One thing, though, English, he got really good hands, but should just stick to the basics when it comes to the kicking. Don't try to do the cute stuff. Just stay within your limitations.
Still the most polite man we've ever spoken to on the Sunday Run, Duck.
He's very, very polite, isn't he?
Very polite young man. Bruce affects the spoil in the marking contest. Nelson bursts out of his hands. McRae, now Treloar measures a ball. He's got Wallace out the back, sprinting forward. He's got Hunter. He goes that way now to Lockie Hunter. Defenders calm. More Hunter's given away a free kick. He went too early. The free kick will go the way of the Eagles. And Tommy Cole.
So look at the Triple M Harvey Norman replay screen, and really sure what Hunter was doing then.
And then disputed the decision after the coat hanger him and not looking at the football.
And the ball goes towards Duggan, tries to keep it in, and then Bananas along the boundary line. Very nicely trapped there by O'Neill. Run and carry from the Eagles down towards half forward. They put it at Kennedy's feet. He gets it on the half volley and got the boundary throw in. Just forward of the centre for the West Coast Eagles. They, at the moment, lead the Bulldogs by 2 points, 4-2-26 the Eagles. The Bulldogs 3-6-24. Beacon Trade scoreboard supporting Sparkies. 7:30 opening hours. Trade price and free delivery for over 100 Beacon lighting stores.
That's it, Noodles. McRae, numbers 2, Red Z.
McRae for Red Z, Howie. He's picked up 14 touches.
Daniel's got nothing ahead of the ball. It's a really clever kick. He just waited for something and Bruce provided it. Has he got the legs here? He'll have to kick it from 52, Ducky boy, your man, Jay Bruce.
Well, what he'll do, he'll run around. Most left footers like to run around, but he's not one of those guys, Brownie, that really likes the arc. And I reckon there's...
He's a big kick, though.
Yeah, but a few players have tried, just because the man on the mark has to stand still, they've tried to do something that's not their natural game.
And I think that's out of his wheelhouse, being...
He's just got to do what he normally does.
Just kick through it. I think he's a very big kick of the ball, Howard.
He's gone back Michael Holding style with a long run-up. Kicks it from 55. He's got the distance. He's got the accuracy. Josh Bruce has dropped a bomb at Marvel. He's kicked 2. Highly entertaining game of football. The Eagles 4-2-26. The Dogs going nicely. 4-6-30 up by 4 points on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
And you weren't wrong on his run-up, Howie. I counted the steps. He had 20.
Yeah.
That's a long way to come in. But the modern-day player tends to go back a little bit. But he got good momentum. You're right, no arc, alignment through the ball and follow-through, and he struck that sweetly.
So we've got the Triple M Harvey Norman replay screen. Bontempelli on the phone speaking to the coach at the moment. So nice work by the host broadcaster there, going from the coach to the captain down there. I wonder what they were talking about, Duck.
Probably just saying,
footy?
Just probably saying you're playing a really good game. Keep it going.
Do you think it could be tactical, or it's something about Bontempelli's game, or maybe, Roscoe, something about the midfield as a whole?
Well, maybe the midfield, like McRae kept his feet there. They chained out, got it to Treloar. But they come out through the corridor. Might be reinforcing. Let's keep our feet, chain it out through the corridor and expose them.
For McDonald's and Ream Hotwater, the Eagles inch one out, not a high one, and getting back quite easily was Dunkley. He's got some players drifting out and splitting on the side, and one of those is Treloar. Caleb Daniel becoming an issue for the Eagles, but not on that occasion. He turned it over back to Tommy Cole. Tommy Cole, the 1-2. Scott West style. Then he went back. He's looking for a third. Brad Johnson style. Now they get it back. Lipinski. Handball to Hunter. Player in the pocket is Mitch Wallace. And I reckon he marked it.
That's out in the full.
Out of bounds on the full, but I don't think they called it.
No, the umpire was in the perfect position, so he's closer than us.
So Mitch Wallace.
You hear the crowd murmur then when they saw it on the Harvey Norman replay screen.
Up against the fence. He needs a little bit of left to right. Nice young man, Mitch Wallace. Comes in, become a very good forward. Touched off the ground. The Eagles under pressure and they force it through for a behind.
McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocking football, built tough Aussie conditions with the latest technology when it comes to water heating. Install a Ream. And we got the West Coast 4-2 and the Dogs 4-7, leading by 5 points after they led by 1 point at quarter time, the Western Bulldogs. Tim Kelly.
That's
Good ball down the line. It is a free kick to Jermaine Jones.
Chopping of the arm. And now
52. This will put Jones within range. Duck, take your time, Jermaine. Slow it down.
Lipinski, was it, that didn't give the ball back?
Well, we talk about coach killers. Nothing more deflating than an undisciplined 50-metre penalty when you're just starting to work your way on top of an opposition.
The ball's in your hands. You can't just drop it on the ground. You know you've got to give it back to the player.
The man from Haywood, Victoria. 10 games before today for 4 goals for Jermaine Jones. Great name for a footballer. Starts at left, brings it back nicely. Good finish from Jones. And now the Eagles are back in front. Lead changes 5-2-32 to the Dogs 4-7-31, Chewy.
Lead change number 6, Howie, for Richard.
Well, that's only their, and they got it through a free kick, but that's only their third time inside forward 50 in this quarter. So, and I think that's now 2 goals. So they've been in 3 times now for 2 goals. So efficient, whereas the Bulldogs been in 7 times for 1 goal 4. So they've just been wasteful, the Bulldogs.
Spot on, Wayne. And we've got Chew here. We can talk about all the stats and numbers in the world, but accuracy for goal from setting on the run and efficiency inside foot is the game. Yeah. Grand finals, as we both know, have been won and lost on them.
For McDonald's and Remont Water, goal for goal at the moment, and a 50-metre penalty gave an easy one away, and Lipinski comes off and onto the bench. I'd imagine he'd be down there on the phone any moment to the coach, and looks very unhappy, the coach, on the Triple M Harvey Norman replay screen, Ross.
I reckon I know what the message. Do you want to know what the message to him was?
What was the message, Duck?
Yeah, you're a dingbat.
So for McDonald's, we're away again. Forward handball. Dunkley handball to the nobody. He thought Trelaw was going one way, but then he ducked back the other. There was no one there to handball it to. Kelly has to sit underneath this one. Coming in was Duray. High ball inside forward 50. Free kick's going to go to the Western Bulldogs. It's going to go for holding. And Aaron Norton.
And that just shows the quality of Norton, doesn't it? Like, McGovern's a great one-on-one player, but he felt the physical size and presence of Norton, and he panicked a little bit in hell.
Yep.
Ross Lyon, Wayne Carey with your Triple M Cbus Super Special comments, delivering consistent long-term return for members. Cbus for all of us.
So Aaron Norton starts the running. Left foot right behind it. Starts at left, can't bring it back far enough, through for one behind.
And then if we compare the run-ups, he had 6 steps compared to Bruce's 20. So he probably just needs a little bit more momentum, it looks like.
He's more your Tom Moody as opposed to your Michael Bolton.
Just stand and deliver, isn't he?
Shuffled in and away he goes. Gee, that's a belting kick into the middle of the ground, over the back of Ryan. Love Ross now that players are prepared for fullback to kick straight in the middle of the ground. Because it can go either way, and this way it goes against them. Trelaw drops it back inside 50. Norton does nicely. The Dogs again by hand. Balls out the back to Bailey Smith. Chain of 3 handballs. That's as good a goal as you'll see. Smith with a finish. His teammates with the rocket hand passes. And the Dogs hit back. 5-8-38 to the Eagles 5-2-32 on a nice game of footy on a Sunday arvo. It's on your Beacon Trade scoreboard with 9 minutes to go before the major break.
He's had a real mixed bag, Cole, hasn't he, for West Coast? So they have the ball inside, that little fumble, they win it back, and the Bulldogs, their use of handball, Brownie, I go back to 16, because they were unbelievable, the way they handball. They're as sharp as anyone, and they're not scared, like Richmond.
Him up, but McAdams' movement and read the play really well.
Get on the end of
and
it.
Stick at it. Like in the first quarter, they ran a bit of pressure, but a fumble's a turnover.
Yeah.
You know, when you should be going, you fumble it, the opposition come in, just swoop it away. But to Howie's point, teams are going up the middle, but it's risk versus reward.
Yeah.
They come back at a rate of knots, didn't it, in the Bulldogs' goal. But their quick hands is their trademark and in their feature, and they seem to be getting it going.
The Dogs by 6 points halfway through the second term. Nat Newey high. Oh. Beautiful tap. Out of the middle they go. Kelly's got some room to run. Right foot. Kennedy. Darling. Take your pick. They can't mark it. Off Hounds ground level. Really good tackle laid. West Coast opportunity. But the Dogs are able to clean it up. And they get it out, but not that far. Duray's in some trouble. And now a chain of handballs. Gardner. He's got Dunkley on the other side.
Ross, would you coach your teams to go up the middle, or you'd be too risk averse?
Oh, no, I was always up the middle, Howie. You know that.
Right. Must have been the game I missed, Rossi. The Eagles on the outer side. Hearn caught by Dunkley. But in all seriousness, in the modern game, how would you judge whether your players should do it?
Well, you just got to be set up for it. It's really simple. But Eagles were pretty good behind the ball. They had 3 players in coverage, and as Wayne pointed out, the one fumble cost them the goal.
Yep.
And when you got a guy like Hearn, who you know is such a beautiful kick of the footy, you trust him. You trust his leg.
Well, he's running forward and kicking it right to the middle of Marvel Stadium, isn't he?
And in fairness, however, probably didn't have the gift of 30 metres to take off and run and kick it to like they got now.
No, you're spot on. Comes to the near side. Bailey Dale marks in front of the Eagles. Pierces a ball. Good-looking ball. Hits Wallace on a powerful lead. That's good footy.
Beautiful ball.
Mitch Marks, probably too far out to score on 50, Browning. This is your area distance.
For him, it's too far.
Okay, so the number 3.
Nowhere near it.
And if we just talk about like accuracy, but West Coast had three defenders back there, but they said if you're going to mark it, you're going to mark it out wide. They protect the corridor, they protect it close to goal, mark it up and around 45, 50 metres, and it makes it difficult.
Chipping ball, everybody knew it was coming. The Eagles were more aware. Trelaw.
Touched.
And the boundary line wins out deep in the pocket. What do we got? 7:27 to go before the major break. The Dogs, who led it by a point at quarter time, currently lead it 38-32 by a goal.
Boundary throw in, Natanui and Martin. Dogs in attack. Martin works his way to the front. Natanui pushes him under it. Dogs with opportunity. Martin went to ground. Cole. Good smother by the Dogs. Keeps it in the dangerous area. Bontempelli was there. Laid the tackle on Hearn. They call ball. The umpire says no, I'm going to ball it up.
Red Z lending stats. The Bulldogs have already taken 10 marks inside their attacking 50. The AFL average is 12. Andrew Gaff, only 6 touches to date.
Thank you, Chewy. Hunter, ridden into the ground from behind by O'Neill. In the day, Rossi, Sandlands, Natanui. How'd you used to go about that one? What a battle that was.
Well, yeah, you just back Aaron in, but, you know, centre square bounce, he's an enormous leap, Nick. Big
man, isn't he, Natanui? 202 centimetres, 111 kilos. He's got a twin brother, Ross, that's actually bigger than him. He's got a brother, Mark. He is a man mountain.
Well, to give you context, Aaron Sandlands used to be 120 kilos.
120 kilos?
When I first got there, I said, you need to trim down some. He got down to 113. They're big men.
What size boot was he rolling, your man, Sandy?
I think it was a bespoke boot.
A bespoke boot? Right. That's what Nathan Brown needs in his jeans with his calf muscles. Round the corner from Kelly. Touched is the call. Impressive calves, our man Nate Scott. Ryan was out in the wing, free. They didn't elect to use him. He might get a chance to get the footy now, Liam Ryan. Boundary line's going to beat them all, though.
Insufficient intent.
It's gone for deliberate. Size 18, apparently, for Sandlands. Although it's not called deliberate anymore, Nathan. What's it called?
Coming from a man who, when he wears compression gear, is loose on him.
Me?
Yes.
That's a fair point. It's insufficient effort now or something rather than deliberate.
Is that cancel culture kicking in again? I thought it was just deliberate.
No, but it's not deliberate anymore because you're not deliberately kicking it out of bounds. You're not making sufficient effort to keep it in.
Back live at the game. Bailey Smith's got the ball on centre wing. On the logo.
She'll figure that out for us.
The city side of Marvel Stadium. They lead by 6 points at the moment, the Dogs. He goes to the low ball towards English, but it's cut off. The Eagles with an opportunity. Might have got one high. The umpire said play on. Ball goes out of bounds. They call for deliberate. And they get it. So deliberate against the West Coast Eagles. Mitch Wallace is going to send them back inside forward 50. But he goes lateral. The mark taken by Bailey Williams. So pretty much every West Coast defender in front of him at the moment. He goes with another short one. Jack McRae.
The number 11 plays on to the city side. Drops the ball towards English. Big fish from behind. Bontempelli on the right. Bontempelli on the right. I will say no more. The skipper bangs it through from 40. The Dogs have got 2 in a row. They're out to a game-high 12-point margin. 6-8-44 to the Eagles, 5-2-32. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. The man is a star.
Well, spoke about being able to hit the scoreboard as a midfielder. That's probably an area that he needs to go to another level. He needs to kick that 20 or 30 goals too, man. What's the most the Bonds kicked in a season?
In a season, come back to you very shortly, Duck.
The way Norton hit that pack, The intercept mark, McGovern and Barras were there. Norton, as we watch on the Harvey Norman replay, just launches and hits it. And then Vandermeer's crumb and a beautiful hands-off and a silky finish by Bontempelli on the right.
Robbo for Bob Jane teammates.
Lachlan McNeil off the ground. Now, he got hit heavily early in this quarter. Has been running around right side, so the physio and doctor talking to him as well. And Mitch Wallace has started on the pine twice, first quarter, second quarter. He's better on the ground than off, I tell you.
First time today, back-to-back goals for the Dogs, and they lead by those 2 goals, and we'll have another ball up in the middle.
So the year they won the premiership, and he won the best and fairest, the Bont, he kicked 26 in that year. I reckon 25 plus as a mid. That's a really good year.
Yeah, mid that pushes forward, like Martin and Bont.
Yep.
But he kicked some clutch goals last year.
Yeah,
a couple of match-winning goals when they needed them.
Got a ball up on centre wing. The umpire just arranging the players the way he wants them, and now elevates the ball pretty quickly. There's a lot of congestion around this one. We've had 2 ball ups in a row. The ball just squeezes out now for English and Smith. Off to McRae. Chain of handballs. McRae gets a lot of spin on the ball when he kicks it like that. Eagles win the footy back. Duggan, handball was affected. The Dogs through Wallace and Smith. It's a hard footy to take at the moment.
Vardy can't do it. Steph Martin hand passes straight to the opposition. Kelly to Redden, the former Lion. His ball hugs the boundary line and beats everybody. Chewy.
Yeah, with Bontempelli's on target for a PB as well. It's 37 disposals. That's his career high. He's already racked up 20, but also throwing 8 score involvements as well in the major.
Chew man for the Red Zeds. He's number 20 for the Chew. The best. By that far, it's not funny. The Eagles go inside 50, only as far as Bailey Williams. He sends it back where it came. Bruce puts the hands in the back. Can't bring the mark down. Contested on the outer side. Mitch Wallace, clever little tap back towards Bruce. He's wrapped up in a tackle by Oscar Allen, who we haven't called a great deal. He's Ross Lyon.
And if we go back to Bailey Williams, we talk about assertive defence. That was a dump kick out of the stoppage. He's playing up in front still, and he mops the ball up. So it's all predicated on the midfield pressure.
Ball up outer side, Marvel Stadium. Bit of a stalemate in the last 5 minutes. Smith, handball came back to that man, Bailey Williams. He searches for McRae and he finds him. Another one to Liberatore. Left foot high ball inside forward 50. The target is Vandermeer. Can't mark it. Fisted away from him. And we'll have a boundary throw in. Dogs in attack. 44 plays 32. Got 3 minutes 55 to go before half time. The Beacon Trade scoreboard.
And the Bulldogs midfield, as predicted, are well on top. Sheed was the only one fighting the battle in there, and it just dissipated to almost no one in there at the minute.
English. Now Liberatore outside of the boot. Across the face with a flying snap. Through for one behind. 6-9-45 the Dogs. The Eagles 5-2-32 earlier on today, Chew.
The Hawks were defeated by the Tigers by 29 points.
And after this?
Fremantle taking on GWS Optus Stadium.
Xavier Ellis and Andrew Embley alongside Dennis Cometti and Lockie Reid and Tanya Armstrong and the Beast on that one.
Kicking out, the Eagles have favoured the outer side and they go that way again. Fisted down, Liam Ryan was a highlight reel in the first quarter. Took mark of the year, not paid by the umpire. One of the better goals you'll see, but unsighted in this second term. So the Dogs have done most of the attacking. And the ball's out of bounds on the outer side.
Talked about their dominance in the first quarter, contested marks. How many this quarter, two-man for the Eagles?
Yeah, they've only taken 1, opposed to 7 in the first.
Bailey Smith's had a big quarter, Ash. Missed the handball, though, Bailey Williams. Razor Ray fell down. The crowd loved that. Coming back in was English. The ball moves forward for the Dogs. They're running and carrying, and they just run with absolute pleasure. They do inside forward 50, top of the square. Vandermeer can't mark it off hands, and they get it through for a behind.
Just another fumble, young O'Neill. Just, easy handball. Fumbles it. The Dogs.
Turnover. But Gaff and Sheed have had 2 each. 4 between them. It's just not enough. I think Redden's had 4. The midfield's just firing with one person.
Ross Lyon alongside the Duck with your Triple M C-Bus Super Special comments. There was him Akram and Sharbak Dar of the whole arrangement. Very nice combination. Darling marks on the chest, called to go. Drops a 70-metre ball down towards his mate Kennedy. And we can't keep the ball in. So we've got 2:49 to go before the major break. The Dogs led it by 1 point at quarter time. They have kicked 3 goals to 2 this term. They lead it by 14 points. And that is all on your Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
So half forward, Ryan runs onto it, right foot, Kelly, out of bounds on the full. No, squeezes it in for one behind. The umpire moved a long way and then indicated it might have been a behind. So the West Coast Eagles, that's their first foray forward for a long time. They're 5-3-33, the Eagles. And the Western Bulldogs, 6-10, 46, 13-point margin. 2.5 minutes to go before halftime.
Williams tasked to bring the ball back in. Runs his full measure, drops the outside. Nui flies from free back and takes it good. Maha knocks over one of his teammates. It was Xavier O'Neill. He'll learn not to get in the big fella's way. Dreadlocks. Long ball forward. Ryan. Oh, Kennedy. Geez, good contested. It looked like he got shoved under the footy. He's had 2 shots for goal today and kicked 2 beautiful drop punt kicks. And you wouldn't say there's much chance of missing his 30, although
so given the way he's nailed his other 2, you just expect him to split the middle with this one, don't you?
Third contested mark. Nice grab too by Nat Nui Duck.
Well, he just got a free run at the ball. Williams just let him go to the front of the pack, and it was really almost an uncontested mark.
They need this, the Eagles. Trail by 13 points. Kennedy's been outstanding in front of goal so far. And he's done the same again. He's got 3 straight as Big JK. Eagles work their way back into it. 6-3-39. The Dogs said 6-10-46. Trail by 7 points, 140 on the clock. They needed that, Rossi.
Well, they've been starved of opportunities. Like Darling hasn't had a touch this quarter. But I think it sums up the game. When they get it there, they're capable of kicking a score, Kennedy, and they're dangerous. But the midfield for West Coast really disappointing at the minute. I think Simpson, he's got a right to get the sheet and get the gap. Well, you've got big reputations. No no Shuey. How about you stand up and give us an opportunity here?
Yeah, good point. Inside 50s, Jimmy. I reckon they've kicked 3 goals this quarter from about 4 or 5 entries, is it?
From only 7 entries.
7 entries. Yeah. So, like, you're right. When they get it there, they're scoring. It's just a matter of getting it there. So you're right. They need more out of gaff.
So if they can get a lift, they're in it. But 16 scoring shots to 9. To me, when you're doubling the scoring, it's just a real indicator of dominance. But their efficiency keeps them hanging in games when they're not playing well.
In just the last 15 minutes, both Gaff and Sheed have been statless in this quarter.
A minute 38 to go before half-time, and the West Coast got a badly needed one, but they're right in this game. Lipinski handball backwards. McRae stepped inside a little bit too easy. Left foot ball, not good. Hunter fell over, and here they go with an opportunity. Darling leads up at centre-half forward. He'll turn around. He'll see Kennedy coming at him. Ryan drops back to the square. He's going to try and run around his man. He couldn't quite do it. He handballed it to Kennedy. Kennedy wanted to kick to him. Now the Dogs with an opportunity. Throw looked like, but they'll get the ball out now.
That was Kennedy's 650th goal, by the way. Big numbers. The Dogs streaking forward, trying to get out the back of the small men, Vandermeer and co. But Shannon Hurd, I read that like the old golden book, Chewy. All over it, marked on his chest easily. 650 goals, good numbers, Noodles.
Very good numbers. That's deliberate as you'll ever see, running the ball across the boundary line. And the umpires got sucked in 47 seconds before half-time. Ash would be a dominance of uncontested possessions this quarter, I'd imagine.
Yeah, no doubt, Brownie. Bulldogs in that particular stat, plus 33.
They had 65 more possessions than any other side in round one, the Dogs. They're doing it again today, but only lead by 7 points for all the domination they've had. And O'Neill, short ball. Here's Darling, playing really well in a good first quarter. Duck questioned the physical appearance of him, but he looked pretty good to me.
I did not.
You said he looked fat, Duck.
I did not.
Well, we'll get the tape out because very hard to erase that sort of thing, Duck.
I said his definition wasn't as defined.
Down to 19 seconds. They need a big mark.
Ryan.
And Ryan's your man. English comes in from the side. Ryan had a good crack at it. Off hands. Hunter went in. Ball at ground level. And he got a high one. Free kick to go to the Bulldogs, and that'll probably just about do us for half-time. The Dogs by 7 points at half-time. Entertaining game of football. 6-10-46 the Dogs. 6-3-39 West Coast Eagles. 7-point margin. We're back after the break. Ash will give us some Triple M Red Z lenders, and then the best in the business in the sea buses. You got Duck and also Ross Lyon. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rock Footy.
That quarter for Beacon Trade. There to support Sparkies with 7:30am opening hours, trade prices and free delivery from over 100 Beacon lighting stores.
For Ream Hot Water,
Triple M rocks footy.
Built tough for Aussie conditions. When it comes to water heating, ask your plumber to install a Ream. IGA Liquor's got you covered this footy season. Get your favourite spirits, beer and wine. Head to igaliquor.com.au to find your nearest store. Triple M rocks footy on Melbourne's 105.1.
Shut up! The footy's on Triple M!
G'day, it's Xavier Ellis. Straight after this game, Triple M continues to rock footy.
How about that?
Join the Temper Mattress call team for the Dockers and Giants. For Ream Hot Water and McDonald's, Triple M rocks footy.
With our best ever loose change menu, a little goes a long way at Macca's. Grab a McFlurry for just $2, a hamburger for $2, or 10-piece chicken McBites for $3. Available 10:30am to midnight for a limited time. Excludes McDelivery.
At IGA Liquor, we're chock full of inspiration for delicious drops to pair with your Easter entertaining. Like a fiery Barbie with an Asahi Super Dry 24-pack, $47. A silky seafood treat with a bottle of Mumm non-vintage champagne, $49. Or a cheeky chucky, delicious with Bailey's Irish Cream, 1 litre for $39. Shop these Easter basket besties and more at your local IGA Liquor today. Drink responsibly. T's and C's apply. See our website for details. Offers end 6th of April.
Save up to 55% off discontinued Beautyrest Black mattresses and ensembles now at Harvey Norman. Now's the time to upgrade your mattress and support Australian-made manufacturing. Plus, purchase with 60 months interest-free and receive a bonus gift card up to the value of $500. Minimum finance amount $1,000. Approved applicants only. 60 equal monthly payments. Interest applies if you do not comply with terms and conditions. Fees and exclusions apply. Save up to 55% off discontinued Beautyrest Black mattresses and ensembles exclusive to Harvey Norman.
Australia is working hard to ensure we all have access to safe, effective and free COVID-19 vaccines, which will give us the protection to go about our everyday lives. The COVID-19 vaccines are being assessed carefully by independent clinical experts to ensure all potential vaccines meet Australia's high safety and quality standards. After vaccines are approved, they'll be rolled out, going to those most in need of protection first. To keep up to date, visit health.gov.au. Authorised by the Australian Government, Canberra.
Hi, I'm Joey from Verve Electrical. We've just taken delivery of our Renault Traffic. There's heaps of room in the cab, it's easy to drive and versatile. I love the van so much, we're getting another one.
From just $37,490 drive away. Renault Traffic.
It's my business, it's my van. We are making a song and dance about Mondays. It's Meerkat Mondays, now Mondays aren't so bleak. App compares the market, there's surprises every week.
Surprises? What surprises?
To find out, go to comparethemarket.com.au/Meerkat Mondays.
Shut up! The footy's on Triple M!
G'day, it's Xavier Ellis. Straight after this game, Triple M continues to rock footy.
How about that?
Join the Temper Mattress call team for the Dockers and Giants. For Ream Hot Water and McDonald's, Triple M rocks footy.
The Amazing Race Grand Finale is here.
One team will take home $250,000.
This is anyone's game.
This is going to be a fight to the finish.
Who'll win the Amazing Race? 7:30 tonight on 10.
IGA Liquor's got you covered this footy season. Get your favourite spirits, beer and wine. Head to igaliquor.com.au to find your nearest store. Triple M rocks footy on Melbourne's 105.1.
Shut up! The footy's on Triple M!
Triple M rocks footy.
This halftime break for Bosch Power Tools and Accessories. Good, better, Bosch.
Good game of footy at Marvel Stadium. The Dogs led by a point at quarter time and they lead the Eagles by 7 points at half time. Kennedy has kicked 3 for the West Coast Eagles and Bontempelli has been unbelievable for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. This is the half-time break for Bosch Power Tools. Bosch Power Tools, good accessories, good, better Bosch. As I bring in Ross Lyon, and it was a fascinating first half of football. The Dogs seemed to dominate possession everywhere, Ross, but the Eagles, when they went forward, looked really dangerous.
Yeah, I think Kennedy fought a lone hand up there with 3 goals, and he just took his opportunities. Really, their ability to kick straight has kept them in the game. It's not reflective of the general play dominance. Entries are virtually double, 30 to, I think, 16, something like that, going Bulldogs' way. So they've found a way to hang in there. Gaff had 2 for the quarter, Sheed 4, Redden. They're just not contributing. Kelly fought a lone hand in there, really, and even he wasn't dominant. Whereas the highest possessions on the ground are all, Bulldogs midfielders, Bontempelli, and all those guys. McRae, an outstanding quarter. So if this continues, I think it can be a dominant win for the Bulldogs. But the danger is Simpson gets hold of those midfielders and their quality, Gaff and Redden and those guys. And they could respond. If they respond and they start working off Nat Nui, they could get back in the game here. But the West Coast forwards starved. I think, the West Coast defenders are finding a way to hang in there. But it was a dominant performance by the Bulldogs. And I think we're starting to see they're a real threat to the competition. I still think they look vulnerable in defence when the ball gets there. I think we know that's going to be ongoing all year. But that's as impressive I've seen the Bulldogs for a little while with their attack, their run in waves and numbers. They've got better players, more players winning their position all over the ground. If it continues, they should run out winners here.
As dominant as they've been, the Bulldogs, they did it last week. They kept the Pies in it for various amounts of time and had a lot of inside 50s. You look at that scoreline and against the side as potent as the Eagles, they only lead by 7 points. They've kicked 6 goals, 10. If that was 10-6, then they're 5 goals in front. I mean, it's a very comfortable scoreline, but that's got to worry Luke Beveridge, not only today, it did it last week, but going forward as the season goes on, being able to convert how much they're dominating the midfield.
Yeah, but they've had their shots. I think they're about 58%. Efficiency inside 50, so they're having shots on goal from the amount of entries. But to the Eagles' credit, I called it a couple of times earlier, when the Bulldogs were out and flowing, they said, we're going to mark it here, but you're not going to mark it in the corridor and you're going to mark it 30 metres out from goal. They push you out high and wide to get those. They've taken 10 marks inside the 40-50, the Bulldogs, but if we plotted them, most of them would be up high and wide, so then it's hard to sort of kick the goal from long range or wide. And that's the percentages. Get your shots within the corridor, within 30 metres and you nail them. And you think, where are Kennedy's goals? He's kicked one from the boundary, but the rest of them have all been in relatively good positions. So they do it pretty well. They find a way to hang in. But as I said, the threat here. But if I'm the Bulldogs, I'm not sweating too much. I think Luke would say, you know what, we've just got to keep doing this. Let's just tighten up on Kennedy where we can. Maybe at centre square bounces. Don't play in front where they're really dangerous and they stream out. Maybe just concede. I'll take back shoulder for a centre square bounce. And then for the other stoppages, like Williams did, like the ball up or the throw-in, you tend to get more pressure around there. There's more players and you can play assertive, mop it up and go like he did. So
you did mention during the call to play from the back shoulder at the stoppages, yes?
Well, yeah, only centre square bounce, I think. The Eagles are an assertive defence, play up in front. But at centre square bounce, they feel it's too open. We can't put pressure on the ball carrier. So they all go to back shoulder. I think maybe, and look, he's a premiership coach, Beveridge, and he backs. Maybe that's just the one tweak. All around the ground we'll keep it, but centre square bounce and we're playing a dominant team. Maybe we just adjust a little bit, maybe just on their key backs. But Oscar Allen, virtually no influence. Darling, no influence. So it's really just Kennedy. And Liam Ryan is looking dangerous. So, again, that's the threat. But if I'm Beveridge, I'm saying stay focused on the process. Do what we're doing. Keep going, and the game will take care of itself. But if we stop and you breathe out and someone looks for the easier handball receiver and don't play your role for the team, they'll work back in. You give Gaff enough rope and he'll hang you. You give Redden enough rope. So you know what? Keep our standards, keep working together, and let's come in a quarter time having delivered our effort and our system, and we'll be okay.
Triple Ebb, Red Z lending stats, Ash?
As Ross said, Bulldogs dominating most of the key stats. Inside 50s are 29-19, plus 18 in ground ball, plus 79 in uncontested possessions. But the Eagles' efficiency since 2015, they've been number one for goal scoring efficiency, and today they're tracking at 32%. They've nailed 5 goals straight from set shots. Nice. Bulldogs at only 3 goals, 4. Just individually, Bontempelli, number one ranked player, 21 disposals, 5 clearances and a major. McRae also with 21. Dunkley 17, Smith and Liberatore 16 disposals each, Smith with a major. And for the Eagles, their top 2 ranked players are Shannon Hearn with 15, 430 metres gained. Kennedy with 7 disposals, 3 contested marks inside 50 and 3 majors. But the midfield in that second quarter, collectively Sheed, Gaff and Redden, 3 contested possessions between them.
Choice Hotels around the grounds. What happened earlier today?
Earlier today, Brownie, Richmond 11-12-78 defeated the Hawks by 29 points, 7-7-49.
And Amy, who covers clangers? Amy does. Lucky you're with Amy. This is how we saw the Amy clanger for the first half. Tony Liberatore Senior sitting in the stands. I had the pleasure of sitting in front of Tony at a Bulldogs Hawthorn game many years ago, and I won't be sitting in front of him again. He's a very aggressive supporter, Tony.
And how long has he operated as Tony Liberatore Senior?
Well, since he had a
son called Tom.
Liberatore Junior.
Right, just doesn't stack up for me, Brownie, that. Just doesn't stack up, Guru.
That's the Amy Clangers, Tony Liberatore Senior, Tony Liberatore Junior. I forgot that his name is Tom, so Liberatore Senior and Junior will be enough for me. So this is the halftime break for Bosch Power Tools. Bosch Power Tools and accessories, good, better, Bosch. The Eagles trail the Bulldogs by 7 points, 6-10-46. The Eagles says 6-3-39 for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M, Rocks Footy.
That halftime break for Bosch Power Tools and accessories. Good, better, Bosch.
For Ream Hot Water and McDonald's.
Triple M rocks footy.
New to Triple M breakfast in 2021. Mighty Sheer Gold.
There's no doubt that coaches who win premierships start to think that they can redesign the game. Clarko's a bit of an ideas man. Mate, they're all ideas guys. Yeah. You're not really. Are we going to have to watch Damien Hardwick unravel over the next couple of years? He's making me nervous. You don't have to comment.
You're making me nervous. The Mighty Sheer Gold Show. New to Triple M. Weekdays from 6.
Here if you need.
Or hear it anytime on the new Listener app.
With our best ever loose change menu, a little goes a long way at Macca's. Grab a McFlurry for just $2, a hamburger for $2, or 10-piece chicken McBites for $3. Available 10:30am to midnight for a limited time. Excludes McDelivery.
Hop on over to the Bottle-O this Easter and enjoy some exciting deals. Like a 24-pack of Carlton Dry, $45. A bottle of Johnny Walker Red Label 700ml, $37. Or a 10-pack of Jack Daniel's Double Jack and Cola, $52. Don't miss out on these Easter deals. Gotta love your local, the Bottle-O. Drink responsibly. T's and C's apply. See our website for details. Offers end 4th of April.
As part of Victoria's Big Build, we're removing 75 dangerous and congested level crossings, with 46 already gone, creating thousands of jobs and making your journey safer and easier. As we bring the pieces together, buses will replace trains on the Craigieburn line between Newmarket and Craigieburn from the 7th to the 15th of April. There will also be lane closures on Pascoe Vale Road. Find out if you're affected at bigbuild.vic.gov.au. Authorised by the Victorian Government, Melbourne.
Buying a used car has never been easier with Melbourne's cheapest cars clearance warehouse. Visit our massive superstore or shop online. And don't forget our 72-hour money-back guarantee. Melbourne's cheapest cars. The cars sell themselves.
LMCT 8399. T's and C's apply.
Less costs, less noise, longer product life. The DeWalt Pressure Ready Pressure Washer. Guaranteed tough. The 3400 PSI petrol pressure washer with industry-first stop and start technology. Saving you water, money and reducing noise. Available now at Total Tools.
No, wrong music. Not this time. There's no mystery here. This is 100% conclusively proven beyond any shadow of a doubt. Budget Direct are the 2021 winners of Money Magazine's Best Value Car Insurance Award. That's better!
See if you should switch to Budget Direct, Money Magazine's Best Value Car Insurance for a third year in a row. Budget Direct. Insurance solved. Insurance issued by Auto & General Insurance Company Limited. Read awards and PDS information at budgetdirect.com.au to decide a product suit you.
The Amazing Race Grand Finale is here.
One team will take home $250,000.
This is anyone's game.
This is going to be a fight to the finish.
Who'll win the Amazing Race? 7:30 tonight on 10.
Catch Triple M's Marty Sheargold Show and more live or on demand on the Listener app.
Hi, Eleanor Harrison Dengate with your news briefing. The Treasurer has kept his word with JobKeeper ending today. Despite thousands now looking down the barrel of unemployment, Josh Frydenberg says the labour market's proven to be a lot more resilient than the most optimistic forecasts.
There was at one point Treasury feared unemployment to reach as high as 15%. Today it's at 5.8%.
Meantime, the Treasurer has also told us the fate of federal MP Andrew Laming. After speaking with the Prime Minister, Laming will quit politics at the next election after he reportedly harassed female constituents and took a photo of a woman bending over.
Andrew is not recontesting the next election, so the LNP will find a new candidate, and that will be up to the pre-selectors.
If Laming left politics immediately, it would mean the government losing their one-seat majority in the lower house. Queensland Police say reports a COVID-positive man hosted a house party with 25 others while infectious is incorrect. Overnight, health authorities revealed they were scrambling to track down up to 25 people believed to have been present at the Stafford home.
The contact tracing inquiries that we've conducted after that reveals that in fact there were only 5 other persons there. They've all been accounted for, and the important thing is that they have now been tracked down.
Deputy Police Commissioner Stephen Golszewski there. In more promising news, the one new case recorded today is the brother of one of the infected men who is now fully recovered. His results point to him being the likely original source of the outbreak.
Grab any wonderfully made salad, sandwich or sushi from 7-Eleven. All delivered daily and only $5 for a limited time. 7-Eleven. Wonderfully easier.
Partly cloudy skies for Melbourne, dropping to a low of 13 degrees tonight. Tomorrow, still looking overcast, a top of 19 in store. Similar skies into Tuesday and Wednesday. And get more news and information live on our Listener app. Download and listen for free.
Triple M rocks footy.
This quarter for IGA Liquor. Proudly local, proudly independent.
Half time here at Marvel Stadium. The Dogs led by a point at quarter time. Extended to a 7-point lead. The Doggies 6-1-46. It's not right, Chewy. It is 6-10-46. And they're holding off the Eagles at the moment, 6-3-39 by 7 points. Earlier on today, the Tigers won it over the Hawks by 29 points. IGA Liquor have got you covered this footy season. Get your favourite spirits, beer and wine. Head to igaliquor.com.au to find your nearest store. IGA Liquor, proudly local, proudly independent. Duck, a lot of talk in the pre-game about Cozzy Pickett and how exciting he is. Liam Ryan, is he the most exciting player in the competition? Bums on seats.
Oh, look, when he's going, he certainly got us excited in that first quarter, didn't he? A little bit quiet in that second quarter, but when he's flying for the footy like that and taking his opponent on when he kicked that goal, he's a package. But I think Dusty and Buddy and a few others have him covered because of their consistency. That's right. But
people forget that goal from Dom Sheed without Liam Ryan contested mark.
That mark. And what people forget is he had a moment just prior to that. He had a moment where sometimes the coach would go, you know what, get him off, but he didn't. Simo, he stayed on, although I think later on Simo said he was trying to get him off but couldn't get him off. But that mark was just unbelievable, wasn't it? You're right. Without that whole passage of play, you know, McGovern, Davardi, to Ryan, to Sheed.
Yeah.
Isn't it amazing how you just remember that off?
Oh, outstanding.
It was an amazing piece of play, wasn't it?
Gary Rowan, given the option of 2 weeks, Gary Rowan, for the hit behind the play. What do you think, Doug?
Yeah, it was unwarranted. Didn't need to do it. You know, there wasn't a lot of force in it. Probably deserves a week. 2 weeks, maybe a little harsh, Howie, but maybe give him the extra week for just being silly.
Yeah.
Because that's what it was.
Yeah, it was not his best effort, Gary Rowan. Hopefully he's back playing footy soon. They've got a couple of issues.
Is he going to accept it? Has he accepted it?
I don't know. We'll get Jay-Z on that. He will tell us that very, very soon.
Jay-Z just sent us through a photo, Howie, of all the Brisbane boys, and guess what they're buying?
Clothes.
Jocks.
You said that would be short. You said they'd be short. Still not able to go home at the moment, the Brisbane Lions.
Well, just pop into the Nike factory and get some good Nike stuff.
Are you still sponsored by them, are you?
Nike athlete for life.
For life? You and Jordan, is it?
Well, I made Nike big in Australia.
More than MJ.
Well, you know, they didn't have Nike boots when they didn't make.
Did they not?
They did not make Nike boots, so I was one of the first.
What was the best Rude Boy ad?
The one where I bumped. I'll show you in the break at 3/4 time where I bumped the truck over, and jump over the truck and take a mark and do a few things.
Who wins this one, Doug? 7-point margin, half time here.
Well, I said West Coast. I said West Coast at the start of the game. I know Bulldogs are playing probably the better footy, no doubt about that. But I'm going to stick with West Coast. I just think if they get a little bit more ball inside forward 50, I think they can pinch it.
Okay, book a free Bob Jane T-Mart tyre safety check today. And keep your family safe on the road this Easter. The medical subs, Johannesson and Archie. Johannesson's a nice man to have up your sleeve at this stage if you get an injury, Mickey Roberts.
And the one that we're looking at is Lockie McNeil. Right calf worked heavily on it. After half-time, they tend to slow a player up, but I'm not saying too much. But, yeah, JJ would be perfect to come off half-back, Howie.
Puts everyone in a difficult position, Ross. A fast game like this, you got Jason Johannesson as your medical sub to come on, potentially for a final quarter.
Well, he's an interesting sub, isn't he? Like, he's got all the attributes that you're looking for. So it puts you under a bit of pressure, yes.
It's McDonald's Marine Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. Nat Nui by hand. Long ball forward by Duggan. Allen hasn't done much. He's done something now because he's taken a big contested arrangement. Has the number 12, Oscar Allen, against Gardner, and he'll go back from just 20 out. No real angle to get the Eagles off to a perfect start.
And just looking at the Triple M Harvey Norman replay screen, love Liam Ryan just having a little bit of a giggle. He seems a little bit cheeky out there. He loves laughing at the opponents if someone takes a mark, but that's the sort of start he wants.
Well, the Eagles out of the middle. Number 1 last year for scoring out centre bounds. They've done it again. It's at least their second today, I would have thought, Stu.
Allen should kick the goal and does. Perfect start for the Coasters. Oh, she's a tight one. The Dogs lead it by a point, 46-45 on the Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard. IJ Liquor, proudly local, proudly independent.
Two-man, I know he hasn't had a lot of shots at goal, the big fella, but has he missed since 2020? I don't think he's kicked a point.
He's been deadly accurate since the start of 2020. 9 goals straight from set shots.
It's not a big sample size, but it's...
But you're all over everything, mate. You know what I've learnt? The research coming in pre the game. I just need the list.
Bullshit.
Adam Simpson said pre-game that he'd done the double-page spread this week, so he hoped he got a kick. It's been quiet so far. I'd imagine that Adam Simpson didn't really like the two-page spreaders.
No, he's got
but he's already got a goal now.
Bit of pay-go about that comment.
So for McDonald's and Ream, West Coast get one within the first minute of the second half, and it's a point the difference after the Dogs led by 14 and they continue to miss the footy. Kelly out of mid-air, looked for Liam Ryan, tried to just hack the ball to another player. Bontempelli went in, got it out to Smith. Now the Dogs run on the outside. They got run and carry through Smith again. He got the 1-2 back. Caleb Daniel steps in, steps out. He's got a player in the middle. That's Bailey Dale, and he marks it. He's held up.
Dale, the number 31 for the Dogs, rangy style operator. Little chipper, shallow entry inside 50. Really good contested mark for a small man. He does well, just like the Vandermeer. Had a couple of shots, missed them both. Hands it off to Bontempelli! From 50 out, the Bont's got 2, and that's your top draw goal right there. The Dogs 7-10-52, the Eagles 7-3-45. Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard.
Duck in the second quarter, Vandermeer had a shot from about 50 and Bont went past for the same handball, didn't give it to him. Bont gave him a bit of a spray. He wasn't going to make the same mistake twice.
Tell you what, it's good mark from him, wasn't it? Because he had 2 players, Hearn was one of them, that couldn't get their hands actually on that ball. So really that ball should have been spoiled. Not good enough by the West Coast guys, but you're right. Now the players really wanting to give that ball off because of the man on the mark being stationary. Bont took full advantage of it.
Spot on, Wayne, and the ability to finish. But it was Bailey Dale in the middle that just turned and went, and he just pulls his kick there a little bit. You're right, sat up, but full reach. But he learned his lesson here, Vandermeer, and that man on the mark just can't get there. Last year, you couldn't have done that, and you would have been tackled. So another tick to the rule, but the Dogs needed that.
Bontempelli's second goal to go with how many Triple M Red Z lenders, Ash?
23.
Having a massive influence. Kelly been very good too. Hacks it towards half forward. Going back, that man Bailey Dale did well. Got it out to a teammate. At half back, the other Bailey. Williams. Short ball. Kelly's the first one there. Picks up the loose footy. Handballs it off. Redden. Touched off. Umpire said play on. Dogs with it at half back. Bailey Dale again. This time he's come undone and the West Coast Eagles go forward. And they get the short ball to Josh Kennedy, who's been a dead-eye dick today. Yeah. He's going to go from 45, 10 metres in from the boundary.
Yeah, a lot of players running into space, wanting their little short chipper, the little cheap one. But when you're kicking the ball like Kennedy at the moment, you just go back and slot it. 3 straight today.
This was always the danger for the Dogs today. One of these guys getting a hold of him, and Kennedy looks the man most likely. Darling's kicked 1. Kennedy's kicked 3. This is for number 4, and Oscar Allen's also kicked 1. So a good return from the big guys. Kennedy trots in. Umpire does some work, and I reckon he might have squeezed it through again. Kennedy's got 4, and it's back to a point the difference. 8-3-51, the West Coast Eagles. The Dogs are 7-10-52, and that's on the Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard.
And just at the start of this quarter, centre square bit, Nat Nui's working there. It's just been a joy to watch. He's flipping them around everywhere. He's spiking it forward. He's dropping the offhand in. So you feel for the Western Bulldogs midfielders in there, but he's really trying to lift his team and give them first use.
Triple M Red Z lending stats. So the Eagles, they've won the last 5 centre clearances and the centre square hit-outs, I should say, at 10-5. And just with Josh Kennedy, 59 majors he's kicked against the Bulldogs. That's the most number of goals he's kicked against any opposition side. Remember, he's kicked a bag of 10 and 2 bags of 7 against this very mob.
Nice work, Chewy. Red Z lending loans for the self-employed. McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M Rocks Footy. Pick up a $2 McFlurry and Macca's at Loose Change menu. So 2 goals for the Eagles, 1 for the Dogs so far in the second half. Entertaining game of football. McRae by hand. And the Dogs send the ball forward deep again. Whistle on play. And it's going the way of Norton.
Just me, as we have a listen to the umpire. Just me, there's been a lot of these free kicks over this weekend, Howie. Have you noticed that? Holding of the forward. I think Hipwood got about 5 free kicks the other night. I've seen a couple here today, and geez, some of these are soft too. Oh boy.
Triple M Harvey Norman replay. Having a look at it. Norton straight through the middle. Nice answer again by the Dogs. Harvey Norman, your technology specialist, at shop in store or online. 2 apiece. Good game of footy. And the Eagles trail by 7 points on the Harvey Norman IJ Liquor scoreboard.
Great to see the greatest goal kicker of all time for the game last night for Spud, the great Tony Lockett. If he got free kicks like that, he would have kicked 3,000.
We can see Norton's threat, though. I think McGovern, you've got Shepherd just rolling off, maybe just trying to protect him a little bit. You're right, based on what you used to be able to get away with, but the scoreboard's ticking over. They responded well to the West Coast Challenge, but it looks like it's game on here.
Having a look at it on the Harvey Norman replay, Duck.
Yeah, well, like I said, if Plugger, that is as soft as butter. That is not a free kick at all.
It was a cheap one. 4 goals in 6 minutes to start the second half. 2 each. Allen, Bontempelli, Kennedy and Norton. End-to-end stuff. It's good footy back in the middle. Nat Newey won it down to Sheed. Had a stack of it. What are his numbers, Triple Ed? Red Z lending, Ash?
16 touches.
To go with how many last week?
Last week he had big numbers with 34.
The Dogs through McRae. Runs his full measure and then blasts a left foot ball inside forward 50, a bit ill-directed, and it fell in the lap of his teammate. And getting back and taking a mark was the young man McNeil. I thought the Eagles had that covered, but then it was just a shag ball which dipped and dived and landed in the hands of this man McNeil.
Lockie McNeil, do you reckon he gets mistaken for the Brownlow medalist?
No.
Okay.
His name's Lockie Neal.
Lockie Neal and Lockie McNeil.
So here comes McNeil. He'd love to win a Brownlow one day, whether his name's McNeil or Neil. Yeah, it's not a good kick though. 3 for 1 behind. 59 plays 51. Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard. They're proudly local and they're proudly independent.
Anything happening down there, Bob Jane T-Mart style, Robbo?
No, nothing. Not on the bench. Just summing it up both sides.
How's Jay Johannesson looking down there?
He's ready to go, mate. Out of the blocks, warming up. If you want a bloke that'll actually attack off half back, it'll be JJ.
Yep, they'll have to get an injury to get him out there. Liberatore in game 150 sends a ball for massive pack of players. They go down everywhere. Hearn's slow to get up. He's tough. The former cricketer now. Ryan, usually working across half back, loops it all the way back to McGovern. He's got options. He uses one of them. Hits number 35, Joshy Rotham. And now Sheed's starting to get involved.
He's got a couple of runners on his outside. One of those is Kelly. Feeds him now. Centre wing goes Kelly. Chips the ball. Nice 45-degree angle kick, and he found Kennedy up the ground. He's on the wing at the moment. Keith told to give it straight back to him, and Kennedy wastes no time. Back inside forward 50, looking for Darling. 1 bite, 2 bites, and can't quite control it. Gives a bit of a clap for the kick to Kennedy and said it was good. I just dropped it.
And they're the ones that that's what I'm talking about with Darling. They're the ones that you just got to swallow.
You thought he just could have hit that ball a bit harder and maybe just collided in that Bulldogs player cutting across him. It was just a little bit perfect, wasn't it?
Trelaw, McRae, Bontempelli. Done for a throw the Bont there. Tackle from Vardy and Nelson.
Geez, that was a hard call. He looked like he handballed that way.
Yeah, I thought he had.
Razor was keen to get involved.
Get it down towards Liam Ryan. Get it down towards Ryan. Got two hands to it. Did a bit of a swan dive style arrangement.
Holding the footy.
Applies a really good tackle, though. Yes, he's got it too. Well done, Liam Ryan. Went for the mark, then applied the tackle duck. Should get a free kick and does. 45-degree angle, 40 out.
Stand now.
Tell you what he did there, Liam Ryan, when he was on the lead, because you often see him coming from the side or from behind. His vertical leap.
Yeah.
Oh, he goes up, doesn't he?
He goes up, doesn't he?
He goes up.
Man's a sensation.
And look, I used to watch him in the waffle, and you thought, is he going to be able to get the run at the ball in the AFL and do that? But he certainly has. He certainly... Give him space, and he's a jack in the box.
He's kicked one ripper already today.
Right to the hot spot, and setting himself at the back was Laddams with a big...
Doesn't really give an opportunity. It'll float across the face of goal. And it's not a bad result in the end for the Eagles because it's taken across the boundary line. The Dogs are 8-11-59. The Eagles are 8-3-51. That is all on the Triple M IJ Liquor scored. Of course, IJ Liquor, they're proudly local and they're proudly independent.
Umpire spins the yellow Sharon back into play. The front of the pack when Cripps haven't called his name a lot, Ash.
He's only had 4 touches.
Sheed from the pocket, high ball. Can he bend it back enough? It's not going to be a goal. They're 3 for 1 behind. The Eagles are 52, the Dogs are 59. 7-point margin as it was at half-time.
McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks football. You got Wayne Carey and Ross Lyon on your Triple M Cbus Super Special comments, delivering consistent long-term return for members. Cbus for all of us. Good exit from the Dogs. Finds Norton on half-back.
Out, please, Liam. Move it on. Play on.
What do you think of the crowd, Chewy?
About 22,000, I reckon, Howie.
Okay.
Oh, good.
Mark taken down the line by Barras. It's all that talk of the 75,000 available at the MCG Thursday night, Chew. It was about 50 in the end, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was 51 or something. How many there today at the G?
Today, between the 41,000 today.
Yeah, so that's not great either.
The Eagles moving it forward in the hands of Jermaine Jones. Everything but hit Allen, who got space on his opponent. Now Dale goes in ball by hand to Caleb Daniels. Sweeps it. It's going to turn over here. Liam Ryan's got it. Twists, turns away. Back towards Kennedy with the one hand. Where was the other hand? Was it held? Treloar under enormous defensive pressure. Caleb Daniel ducks and dives. Oh, straight back across the face of goal. One of the best kicks in the comp. Kicks it straight to Jermaine Jones, who said, Caleb, thank you. I'll have that, and I'll kick a major. 1-point game. Dogs 59. Eagles 58 on the Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard. And as he had the ball, I was about to say, what's the way he gets rid of it?
Beautiful
and exits defence because he's a good distributor. And he kicked it straight to JJ.
Well, he's only human, isn't he? You're right. He distributes the ball all year long, and he's just shanked it off the inside into the corridor. But it's costly. It's really costly. And, enthusiasm for AFL teams does come from being in the game and on the scoreboard. And it's, the energy levels of West Coast are up already this quarter, and they'll just fuel them a little bit more. They've kicked 3 goals this quarter, I think. They're just taking their opportunities.
He's become a good player, Caleb, hasn't he? But all make mistakes. I tell you, he's had a weird day, is Jones. He's had fumbles. He gave away a free kick at the start of the game, and he's done some good things, but he's made some mistakes. And just looking at the Harvey Norman replay, he just hit that on his instep, just hit it completely wrong.
Spot on, Duck. 1-point lead to the Bulldogs. 59 plays 58. The Eagles are hanging around. So the bounce in the middle. Nat knew he wins it clearly to Sheed. He's got a little bit of space in front of him, but he fumbled the footy, then went back in and got a free kick. The umpire got sucked into that one.
Lucky.
Very lucky. Now Dom Sheed unloads a left foot. It's a 50-metre long searching ball. Plenty of tall tinder down there, but they can't mark that one. Off hands ground level. Gaps there. Good effort. Top of the square. Free kick.
Oh, it's going to be a Shepherd, is it? No.
It's going to go to the Bulldogs.
I'll tell you what, that was Gaff's 7th disposal for the game.
So, what's he had this quarter, Chew?
That was his first touch.
Yeah, he's been quiet, hasn't he?
What's he typically average, Chew? What did he average last season?
Andrew Gaff, 24 touches last season.
But hasn't been tagged either.
Bailey Smith's got it on the outer side. So is this part of the wingers sort of getting left out of the game, Rossi, or he's just having a quiet day?
Yeah, potentially. They haven't been able to sort of get control of the game, the Eagles, where he's normally their link man. Get through the lines. He just hasn't been able to link up. But I think the pressure of Bailey Smith and Treloar on him, he's got to worry about them a little bit.
Bailey Smith seems to be playing the wing okay.
Had a stack of it last weekend.
Lipinski to Keith. He hits Caleb Daniel.
He's just running hard and Gaff.
Now finds the two-time premiership Hawk Taylor Duray. Bailey Dale. Unusual looking kick on the right. And it's fisted across the line nicely by Liam Duggan, the boy from Bacchus Marsh. He's the two-man for the Reds Eds.
Yeah, so Bailey Smith, he's had 21 touches, but he's had 14 handball receives. Andrew Gaff, just the 3 handball receives with his 7 touches.
That's Chua going with Andrew Gaff not working hard enough today and preferring Bailey Smith over him. A boundary throw in near the point of the square. Dogs in attack. They'd love a goal. They only lead by a point. Smothered off the boot by Martin, and then he inches it forward inside forward 50. Wallace couldn't mark it. Vandermeer's been dangerous, and Banger Hearn gets it over the boundary line with a boundary throw in. They're appealing for deliberate. They're not going to get that one. They'll have a boundary throw in.
What are you enjoying on the Reds Eds sheet, Chewy?
Well, I'm enjoying from an Eagles perspective. They've quietened down Bontempelli. Even though he's kicked out major, just the 3 possessions this quarter.
Had a massive first half, didn't he?
Certainly did with 21.
21 and 2 goals. Fist away by Gardner to the outer side. City side across the line.
Thanks, guys.
Earlier on today, Chew.
Earlier today, the Tigers defeated the Hawks by 29 points, rewilded 4 majors.
And next up?
Yeah, Fremantle taking on the Giants at Optus Stadium.
Who's going to win that one, Duck? Fremantle on the Giants?
Be on the Giants, I think.
Okay, Here is Gaff with a rare possession, as Chewy's told us. Out the back, Vardy. Liam Ryan from 30. Liam Ryan from 25. Bounces it across the face. Just to behind. And that is a good behind because it squares it all up. 8-11 to 9-5. The Eagles, 59. They've got the 9-5 side of it.
It's a real art form to be able to kick the ball where you want it to when you're running flat out like he was then. And the Bulldogs, long ball out to Norton. That's an elevate, and that's a brilliant mark. Behind Gaff and in front of McGovern, and he moves the ball quickly down towards half forward. The kick's not great, and it bounces out of bounds. And we'll have a boundary throw in on centre wing, just the attacking side for the Bulldogs instead of triple level Harvey Norman replay. It's just a footy cards type mark, isn't it? Up over 1, and he's got 1 at the back.
Arms down.
Got the 1980s footy cards hair as well, Noodles, Norton.
A bit of Duran about him.
Yeah, there is. And he's rock god. Darling uses his body. Brings Duggan into it. Cripps. His kick is touched. Bounces through everyone to Langdon. Snaps it around the body. The Eagles peppering the goals at the moment. Another behind, but they hit the front two. When were they last in the lead? 60 to 59, 9 to go in the third term.
Yeah, West Coast, Howie, they were last in the lead early into the second quarter.
Short ball to Duray. 30 metres out from the goal. He's defending. He says a long lead from Bruce. Bruce pushes Rotham under the footy, but illegally, said the umpire. And Rotham, he'll get a free kick. He'll send him back inside attack. Liam Ryan's got a one-on-one. Does he elect to go there? He's in the pocket and he calls to go now. Liam Ryan's the target. He's got a few around him at the moment. And coming in and taking a good mark in defence is Bailey Dale, who's becoming a very good footballer back there.
Measures his kick. Very short ball to number 7, Hunter. He splits it out to Caleb Daniel. How's Caleb going, Chew?
20 disposals, 77% by foot.
Darling does well in front of Keith. Keith wraps him up though. Good comeback by Big Keithy.
Second thought. Didn't want to give it. Had options.
He's just out of sorts. I think mentally just a little bit off. He's trying to get into the game, but he's just making fundamental errors, Jack Dale.
Keith, this is a dangerous ball. It sits in the air, coming in with the Eagles. They spent it before they got it. They spent it before they got it, and then Duray just went down and picked up an easy one. Then Lipinski fumbled. Mistakes everywhere. Can somebody just hold the footy and do okay? Ryan played for a free kick. Umpire didn't pay it. Hearn takes a good mark, contested. This game's gone up a notch.
I don't know about that, Brownie. That last 20 seconds.
Play the Benny Hill music. Hey?
It was just error after error after error. But Keith's switch started it. Like, you can't hang switches 45 metres in the air because the closing player can get to it. Switches have got to be 20 to 30 metres.
Like an NFL punter's kick.
Ryan before the ball. Doesn't get hands on it. Good tackle there by Cripps. Ball spilt free. Dogs working desperately to get it out of defence. Down the line to English. Needs to release by hand. He does. He's got old mate McNeil. Goes a little funny check side kicker. Works out as well. Back to McNeil. He goes from 45 all the way to the square. Wallace. Gee, I thought he was going to take the mark. The Eagles defenders come late through McGovern. Mitch Wallace let a goal grasp drop through his hands there. And it's out of bounds on the outer flank.
Well, the great coaches and teams talk about the basics over and over again. We've seen, drop mark after drop mark and fumble. So whoever can tidy up their basics here will take control of the game.
The Eagles lead this by a point. The Dogs are in attack. Boundary throw in, flipped over the back by Nat Newey. He went back in. Second effort was good. McRae was there, went to ground. The Dogs had an opportunity. Smith tried to inch it backwards towards Caleb Daniel. Did well. They're going to back inside forward 50. Bouncing ball. Dangerous ball for the West Coast Eagles. English is there. Can he pick it up? He can't. Coming in was Hearn. He socketed it off the ground and landed in the hands of a teammate. And that is Jack Redden.
Jack Redden. Short to ball. To Liam Duggan.
Did you go with old mate McNeil before?
Yeah, I did. Turn him into him and old mate. Boy from Bacchus Marsh drops one down the line. No one contested it, and it falls to Gardner.
No one wanted it.
No, except Gardner. So he's got it centre wing. Players streaming forward. Nat Newey's dropping back into the defensive hole. He might impact this contest. Fisted away from English. Now applying a tackle is Big Tim. Dogs crowd want ball, umpire not interested. 1 point lead to the Eagles.
I think we talk strategically here. Bevo, we think the Bulldogs, let's make the ground bigger. Let's shift the West Coast defence around. If they keep going in straight line and slow, they're going to really struggle to score.
Shepherd trying to work his way through. Out of the pack goes Dunkley. Out of the pack goes Dunkley with a goal. His first of the day was a quick pick up and quick snap. And the Dogs get back in the lead by 5 points, 9-11-65. The Eagles are 9-6-60. That's on the Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard. Proudly local, proudly independent.
No, that's a good goal, good snap, but it's labour intensive and it's grindy and it's heavy. They need to just open up the angles a little bit, shift the West Coast around it, because they're just intercepting and getting in line with the ball.
Going to be the team that's the cleanest from this point on. 5 minutes to go in the third. We've got a quarter to go, but we've already seen the fumbles creep into this one. Both sides just making basic fundamental errors. So the side that can get that right
and stick to their game. I think, Keith, you know what? It was a long switch, but it was the right option to get it to the open side, because if you keep going down the line to the contest, that we know they're dominant in the air, McGovern and Barras and those guys. So let's shift it. Let's use our run and our spread and get it back into the corridor, because if you can come in from the corridor, it takes the angle off the intercept defenders.
Throw it up. Down that end. Coming out here. It's on the side. Okay, we good to go?
Just discussing the 6-6-6. 9 lead changes, the two man has just told me. Again, they get a clearance from the middle thanks to Nat Newey and Redden. Kelly rolls onto the footy, dashes a handball across to Langdon. Eagles on the half-forward line. Bontempelli, massive influence on this game. Now the Eagles are away through Scott with a long left-foot ball to English. Can't take the mark. Rotham. Now the Eagles get their chance.
This is going to be a big kick into Langdon. Coming over the top was Bailey Dale. Just ripped it out of his hands and said, I wanted a little bit more. I went up high. Took a good mark at Bailey Dale. Didn't know where to go. Wants to move it quickly. Does. Bailey Smith. He's got to play it forward to the footy. It's the ruckman. He needs to give it off to Vandermeer. Vandermeer from 45 for back-to-back goals. Not happening, but on the goal line. Mitch Wallace takes a mark, and they're going to confer. Was it over the line?
I believe it's a mark, and we confirm he took it before across the line. Yes.
It's the umpires exclusively mic'd up.
Score review. Umpire's call is a mark. Can we please check that it didn't cross the line first?
I reckon that's going to be paid a mark.
It's going to be a tough one to overrule.
Calls a mark.
Unless we see an angle from right on the post, the other side. I think Mitch Wallace is going to claim this mark.
He doesn't fumble it. It's clean. It's a mark.
But it come from Bailey Dale's kick. Just in between the lines. If you can get it in between and just break up that defence, you know, there'll be free players everywhere. You get the overlap run.
Is he
and a one-on-one deep.
Banana or the left foot snap here, Duck?
Well, it's an easy, if you've got a left foot, it's an easy shot. It's a lot harder to kick a banana, but it's very easy to just step around on your left.
He's a very smart player. I think he'll just step around and lay this through. Little snap hook.
For back-to-back goals for the Dogs, Mitch Wallace left foot snap. Has he got it?
He's missed it.
The fans behind the goals were up and about. They were closer than us. We're 100 metres away, and they thought it was a goal, but one behind. 66 plays, 60. It's intense.
My word, it is Hearn. Shorts the ball, and the Eagles are just on the back foot. 4.5 to go. Dogs are pressing for three-quarter time. They lead it by a straight kick after leading by 1 at quarter time. 7 at the half. The Eagles did hit the lead. Dunkley replied to give them back the lead. The Dogs, they've transitioned it to the outer back flank, the Eagles.
Stand, Pat!
Patient build-up. The Eagles are going to come back and across and back to Hearn.
So they're at half-back still. It's about where they started. Barras got a couple of leads, one from Kelly, got Redden short. Elects to go to Redden, takes an easy mark, still at half-back. Kelly moves on, didn't get it the first time, kept running, got the ball on centre wing. Barks it in front of Bruce, called to play on. This is what the umpires have been doing, just calling him to play on. We just thought it goes against the rule, and then it was smothered. Then Duray had a fumble, they were out to the races. Then the Dogs, Chance gone begging. Cripps haven't sighted him yet. Forward handball. The Eagles go forward, great kick to Kennedy, which looked like a goal down the other end of the Dogs if they'd have got it. One kick and Kennedy's got the mark, and he's kicked 4. He's had his kicking boots on.
And the way he's kicking, don't even look. Don't even manufacture something that's not there. Go back, have a deliberate shot.
But you know what? Monday's experts and us, we want to complicate. At the end of the day, Taylor Duray has been a magnificent
Kennedy
smother.
does give it off to Darling. Short ball and just opens up the angle, similar distance, but he's only 45-degree angle now.
But Duray just couldn't pick up a basic ground ball, falls over, and it goes. That's how efficient the Eagles are. It goes back the other end and for a shot on goal.
The old Monday's experts, weddings, parties, anything.
Correct.
We're always better live, though, I reckon. Duck's got no idea what we're talking about. He nodded at me as to say, yeah, I know.
He's more your holy grail, man.
Darling from 45. Beautiful kick of the football. And scores a level. Kennedy involved again. Gave it off. Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard, 66 apiece.
Well, it's just the fundamentals for the Bulldogs at the minute where they're letting themselves down.
Well, we spoke about fumbles, and as you said, Duray, that fumble there cost them a goal. And we also spoke, Ross, about accuracy. So set shots, West Coast 8 straight. Bulldogs 4-6.
I wasn't great at maths, but that would be 100% one, wouldn't it?
It is. 4 goals, 6 for the Bulldogs. So it's a
so they're going
game.
to 40%.
Yeah.
Triple M Red Set lending stats. The centre clearances this quarter, 6-1 the Eagles' way. And Dom Sheeter was quiet in their second quarter. In this term, 7 possessions, and he's had 3 of those centre clearances.
Nat Nui has put on an absolute clinic in there. I mean, he's tapping them, putting them down their throat. And you'd hate to be the Bulldogs mids in there. But I just think, you know, Marner, you've got to get aggressive, jump into Nat Nui. Just try and halve it here. It's just too hard for Bulldogs midfielders at the minute.
McDonald, Nareem Otwater, Triple M Rocks football. He doesn't get Nat Nui. Gives it to Kelly like there's no one else there. It came with a little red bow wrapped around it. Unbelievable by Nat Nui. An unbelievable highlighting by Ross Lyon. That's why you got your best team here on a Sunday. And Caleb Daniel runs across the line. That tap was like what you see on the news at ruck practice.
Well, you know, we espouse Polly Farmer and Nichols and you know, Newman, but if they were any better than him, they were superstars.
Yeah.
That's a clinic.
It's an even ball game. The Eagles in attack. Nat Nui just fisted it away. Cripps, can he do the magical from there? Oscar Allen marks it, plays on, kicks a goal.
Stubbing it through.
Drop kick.
Another one to the Eagles, and put that one down to Nat Nui again. Oscar Allen kicks number 2, and they're having a real impact now. 8 goals between Kennedy, Darling, and also Allen.
You can't believe what he did there, Allen.
No.
He nearly muffed it.
He did that. He used his wrong foot, didn't he?
And after he did it, he shook his head, looking at the Harvey Norman replay, put his head in his hands, and just thought, what did I just do?
Simo's got the double page spread ready for him Monday morning. But he's the best player on the ground at the minute, Nat Nui. That spike to the outside of the contest, that's almost undefendable.
Yeah.
He's hit that 5 metres. If we watch on the Harvey Norman replay there, the spike out the Cripps.
Well, hit outs to advantage this quarter in the centre is 6-0. West Coast.
That's a big number.
Yeah.
Big number.
And teams average 9 hit-outs to advantage per game. Natanui's had 8 in this quarter.
He's double kicked it. Done a double foot kick, drop kick. Oh! Bob Jane T-March, Mick Yar.
Yeah, Beveridge down the boundary line here. They've got 2 in red time, the Eagles. He's not happy on the whiteboard.
No sign of Johannesson, no injury yet for the Dogs.
Oh, he just tapped Beveridge on the shoulder. Said, how about it?
Okay. Big fly from Bruce. So the Dogs look like they were just nosing in front. But now the Eagles, with a couple in a row, hold a 1-goal lead. You got 1.5 minutes to go. You just jump on whatever highlights package you watch to see Oscar Allen and to see this man, Liam Ryan, 30 metres out, celebrates with the crowd. Liam Ryan, 3 in a row for the Eagles. All of a sudden, they're out to their best margin of 2 goals, 78-66 on the Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard. Roosie, I hope you're watching this man, Liam Ryan.
Well, that's just classic front and square footy. He just read it off the pack and at pace, hard to stop.
And that's what you love about they'll build the ball up the back half, but they'll take a contest on and half forward, knowing if they crumble or they contest the mark, it's a goal.
And it started Ross by McGovern. I reckon McGovern's a little bit disappointed at a couple of things he's done today. A couple of times he hasn't been really aggressive. It was his aggressive spoil. Really aggressive it was. They get in the front and square, and that's where it starts from. So,
yeah, and that's what senior players do. They go, you know what, you come with me.
Seems like every time the Dogs have broken down at half forward, the West Coast Eagles have taken it end to end.
Well, the last 3 entries inside 50 for the Eagles, 3 goals.
So for McDonald's and Ream, hot water. The Eagles kick 3 of the last 4 and they lead by 12. The Dogs have been wasteful and they're going to get another one here.
But that's better by Martin. He jumped into him. He made him compete. There's a second effort. He's giving him a clip around the head. At least he's competing.
A minute to go. Natanu'i gets up a bit groggy.
I think he scratched his face.
Wants to give it away to a player running past, and now he's got one through McGovern. Every player ahead of him. That is an inside-out torpedo finger. That was the highest jump I've ever seen, but he didn't bring the mark down. That was extraordinary stuff. We're going to have the ball up.
I just texted our man, Roosie, saying, I hope you're watching my man, Liam Ryan. He said, I'm listening to you, beep, beep, beeps on the radio. Roosie, he's nearly taken mark of the century, Roosie.
Umpire elevates it. Martin does the ruck work. They inch it forward again. They're under the pump. The Dogs needs to be clean, Keith. He is. Lipinski turns it around the corner, gets it outside defensive 50. Mark dropped out there, but the Eagles will get it back through Kelly. Still 30 seconds to go.
The Eagles pushing. Just get it down to Liam Ryan. Get it down to him.
He landed on Langdon again as well.
Langdon saved him because he would have come down flat on his back.
It's good for the game. It's good for the game. The Dogs just hanging in at the moment. 13 seconds on the clock. They move it to the outer side. They need to get moving. Hunter has it. I reckon that'll be the close of scores for the term. 3 seconds to go. It's been a big last 5 minutes by the Eagles, 2-man. They really turned around that last 5 or 6.
They certainly did. Very efficient. They nailed the last 3 majors of that quarter.
Darling, Allen and Ryan kicked his second. 3-quarter time here at Marvel Stadium. The West Coast Eagles 12-6-78. The Dogs are 9-12-66. Just pumped at the great man. Paul Roos is listening on the drive back from Wang. The Eagles lead it by 2 straight goals. McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Oh, Liam Ryan and Triple M are rocking football.
That quarter for IGA Liquor. Proudly local, proudly independent.
For McDonald's,
Triple M rocks footy.
footy's back and I'm loving it. Hard Yakka for a new breed of legends.
Oh, it's on, it's tough, it's rough.
Triple M rocks footy on Melbourne's 105.1.
Shut up, the footy's on Triple M.
G'day, it's Xavier Ellis. Straight after this game, Triple M continues to rock footy.
How about that?
Join the Temper Mattress call team for the Dockers and Giants. For Ream Hot Water and McDonald's, Triple M rocks footy.
At Harvey Norman, your technology specialists save $100 on the great value Asus 14-inch laptop. Now just $348. Acer Aspire 5 laptop with the latest 11th gen Intel Core i5 processor. Now $697, save $300. Or the ultra-portable HP Pavilion laptop, designed for exceptional entertainment, with an 11th gen Intel Core i7 processor, only $1,298. Now at Harvey Norman.
Go!
Head into Midas for a free 5-point safety check. We'll make sure your car is running smoothly by checking the 5 key safety points. That's a free check of your battery, fluid levels, wiper blades, car lights and tyres. All that checked for free? You betcha. Head into a Midas store today.
We are making a song and dance about Mondays. It's Here Come Mondays. Now Mondays aren't so bleak. App compares the market. There's surprises every week.
Surprises? What surprises?
To find out, go to comparethemarket.com.au/WeirCardMondays.
On the hunt for the perfect drinks this Easter? That calls for celebrations. Long weekend away? That calls for a 10-pack of Jack Daniels and Cola, $40. Celebrating with the family? That calls for a 24-pack of Carlton Dry, $45. Or a lazy Sunday lunch? Well, now that calls for a bottle of Chandon Brut, $22. Whatever you're doing this Easter, that calls for celebrations.
It's a celebration.
Drink responsibly. T's and C's apply. See our website for details. Offers end 28th March.
Build your new deck the smart way with Spec-Rite Merbu decking. Now available pre-oiled and ready to use, Spec-Rite Merbu makes the job easy and is perfect for Aussie conditions. Spec-Rite Merbu pre-oiled decking. Available at Bunnings Warehouse.
If data is what you desire, Vodafone is for you. Rule with 50 gigs for just $35 a month for the first 12 months on a no lock-in contract. So now you can stream more for less. Don't miss out. Go to vodafone.com.au or in-store today. You rule with Vodafone. Total in cost $35, thereafter $40 a month on our SIM-only light plan. For use in Oz, new services only, upgrades online only, T&C apply.
The Amazing Race Grand Finale is here.
One team will take home $250,000.
This is anyone's game.
This is going to be a fight to the finish.
Who'll win the Amazing Race? 7:30 tonight on 10.
Hard yakka for a new breed of legends.
Oh, it's on, it's tough, it's rough.
Triple M rocks footy on Melbourne's 105.1.
Shut up, the footy's on Triple M.
G'day, it's Xavier Ellis. Straight after this game, Triple M continues to rock footy.
How about that?
Join the Temper Mattress Call team for the Dockers and Giants. For Ream Hot Water and McDonald's, Triple M rocks footy.
Shut up, the footy's on Triple M.
Triple M rocks footy.
This quarter for Beacon Trade. There to support Sparkies with 7:30am opening hours, trade prices and free delivery from over 100 Beacon lighting stores.
Cracking game of footy at Marvel Stadium. That was the Dogs by a point at quarter time, 7 at the half. The Eagles, though, kicked the last 3 of the third term to lead it. 12-6-78 to the Dogs, 9-12-66. Eagles up by 12 points. Ryan's got a couple, as has Jones. Kennedy's got 4 for the Eagles. Bruce and Bontempelli have got a brace each for the Western Bulldogs. Bob Jane T-Marts. Book a free Bob Jane T-Mart tyre safety check today and keep your family safe on the road this Easter. Robbo, what's going on? And just remind us who the Medi-subs are. Thanks, brother.
Johannison from the Dogs and also Archie West Coast. But as soon as Beveridge got down here at three-quarter time, about 5 minutes red time, they kicked 3 goals, West Coast. He's had them together in this three-quarter time huddle, ripping into them because they just let it slip a little. I'll tell you what, if Ryan had taken that catch ground level, it would have been mark of the century. There's no doubt about that. They looked at Nick Nathan to his eye, right eye, got a bit of a scratch across that. It's more annoying than anything he'll start in this last term.
Well, talking about that mark for you, Robbo, and for Roosie driving home, this is the attempted mark from Liam Ryan.
That is an inside-out torpedo finger. That was the highest jump I've ever seen.
I think it was Duck squealing like a stuck pig in the background. That was the Ducky boy. We need to have another listen to that. Roll that one again, please.
That was the highest jump I've ever seen.
Now, Roosie's listening in his car. You don't hear Duck do that for defensive pressure or staying on your man or a good shepherd, do you, Brown?
He does.
All right, we got the great man Ross Lyon alongside Wayne Carey.
This is a rhetorical question. How did you come to amass it?
If he gives them first use again and give them momentum, but they've got to tidy it up through the midfield, the Dogs. Less fumbles.
Yeah, once again, fumbles for me, Ross. If count the fumbles, Two-Man. Team that has less fumbles in this quarter will win.
Yeah, and Roosie was big on that stat as well.
He was.
Yep.
Drop mark, fumbles.
The last 3 goals of the third quarter went to the Eagles and they lead by 12 points. They're undermanned, but they're doing a very good job. Out of the middle goes Nat Newey. They've injured forward. Live ball. Darling went in. Hit it out towards Cripps. Can he be good? No. Lays the tackle. Ball underneath the pack. The umpire circling. I reckon he might pay it. I reckon he does pay it. And it's holding the ball. West Coast are going to get a free kick.
Well, I don't want to harp on it, but that's Nat Nui again. Just a tap down, handball out. They're out goals. So the Western Bulldogs defenders be going wide every time there's a centre square bounce.
Was that Kelly's handball back over his head?
I'm not sure he dropped. We'd have to have a look at the Harvey Norman replay there, Wayne.
Cripps to put him 18 points in front. Been very quiet today, Cripps. But this for his first. 15 out directly in front. Touched, man on the mark. And through for one behind, 13-point margin. 79 plays 66.
He ran and jumped, though, on the man on the mark. You're not meant to run and jump, are you?
You got to be jump up and down, but did he come forward?
I thought he came forward.
Duck, you said something last year and you highlighted it today that Nick Naitanui was the Sirioli of ruckman, doesn't need many possessions to have a massive influence. How many touches has he had, Stu?
He's had 12 touches.
And how influential has he been?
Yeah, that's what he gets.
Stand! Thanks, Jack.
He doesn't get much more than that.
Just keeps setting it up in the middle of the ground. They really let off the hook there, the Dogs, with that set shot, though. Now they need to steady things down. Trelaw's got it. How's his numbers on the Red Z Lending stat sheet, Chewy?
Yeah, he's 17, only 3 since half-time.
Red Z Lending, loans to the self-employed. That's a good mark by Barras. He goes back and across. Now it's in the hands of Zachy Langdon.
Short ball, so they've got some time here to fiddle around with it at half-back, which they do, and Duggan went to go back to Langdon, then dropped the footy under pressure. He had time to fiddle around, and he fiddled around and ended up stuffing it up, and it goes out of bounds of a boundary throw in. Good pressure from the Dogs, well done by Vandermeer.
Thanks, guys. Steph, Nick.
Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. Supporting Sparkers with 7:30am opening hours. Trade prices and free delivery for over 100 Beacon Lighting stores. See the Eagles leading it by 13 points early stages, final term. Gets over the back of Shepherd. Gaff. Little touch. Cut off by Bailey Smith. Just wrestles his man to the ground. Releases to Liberatore. Game 150. Kicks it up the chimney. Bruce. Norton. Good contest in the air. Rotham will be under pressure as soon as he takes possession. Didn't have any prior opportunity. Bonapelli wraps him up deep in attack for the Dogs. Here's the two man for the Red Zeds.
Yeah, with Nick Naitanui. So number 1 ranked player. He had 8 hit-outs to advantage alone in that third quarter. Teams average 11 for an entire game.
Naitanui does the ruck work and he runs that one down to Sheed. Tackled as soon as he got it by Trelaw. Loaded the ball up.
So a team has 11 for a match and he had 8.
He had 8 in that. Yeah, exactly. He can throw in 10 clearances as well for the game.
It's going to be hard to score here. Stack of players around this football. Everyone within a radius of probably 50 metres. So the ball, hard to come out. Hunter hooks it back to the top of the square. Bit of space here and Cripps get back. Took a very good mark, Cripps.
Rotham's off immediately. He's got further support by Langdon. Now to Rotham. He's going to have to stop and wait and prop for someone to run forward the ball. This is good from the Eagles. They get it back to Langdon. Another former line. Where's the number 8 jersey for the Eagles? It's a good hit from Redden. He finds Darling, who drives it forward to Allen. It's just great footy around the outer side, Ross.
Well, just end to end, isn't it? The composure out. They broke hard to the space wide, made the ground big. But just the ability to execute a 30-metre pass, hit 2 lead-ups and having a shot for goal. Very slick.
Very, very difficult angle. He kicks it. It's a long way back for the Dogs, though. Still so much time left in the game with the Eagles with all the running. He's going to have to come across the boundary line. It's going to take something spectacular. He goes for a 40-metre check side. He gets it a bit skinny.
He's always skinny.
Yeah. Tougher there, Duck. 14-point lead to the Eagles. Choice Hotels around the ground. Need a break? Book direct and save with Choice Hotels. ChoiceHotels.com. Earlier on today, Chew.
Richmond by 29 points over the Hawks.
And straight after this game on the M's.
Freo taking on the Giants at Optus Stadium.
Duray to bring the ball back into play. They need some goals and they need it fast, the Dogs. And this ball is tracking back towards the boundary line and goes out of bounds on the 50. They trail by 14 points. So they had control of this game at one point. And they looked a better side at half-time. But now the West Coast Eagles in control. Naitanui is the man who's done a lot of the damage and given first use. Trelaw, quiet since half-time, as Ash pointed out. High ball to centre wing. Fisted back, a double fister. Kelly, handball backwards. Redden standing start. It's a left foot ball. Touched off the boot. It'll be play on. Got out the back. Dogs with numbers. Can they run and carry this one? Treloar, handball to McRae.
They need some run. They need some dash here, the Dogs. Smith by hand. This is better. Williams further by hand. Now to Lipinski. He splits the ball into the middle to Liberatore. Bruce has just run off the bench. He won't get involved here. They drive it forward. Wallace on a good long searching lead. And this is a really important kick for Mitch Wallace. From 40 out, no angle, just to give his team a bit of momentum to get back into it. They trail by 14 points.
And this is his distance, isn't it? He wouldn't want to be too much further out than this. He's an accurate kick.
That's his bread and butter, this one, Duck.
Well, he doesn't get many opportunities, so he needs to take them, and typically he does. But they're lucky there, the Bulldogs. It was a beautiful kick by McRae, but the Eagles had a spare defender.
Oh, Wallace hooks it badly. Might not even register a score. Punched through in the end.
Told you it was his
good
distance.
Contact at all.
Well, he's only 35 metres out there.
He's not a long kick.
13-point lead to the Eagles. Just didn't time it at all on the Triple M Harvey Norman replay screen.
It was a little pop gun, wasn't it? Just a little cork coming out the top of the gun.
Little slug gun.
Harvey Norman, your technology specialist, shopping store or online. Wasn't good. It was a little sort of spud gun job.
So the Eagles, they bring the ball back towards Shannon Hearn. That came from Nelson. Hearn with a low darting ball. It's a good ball too. Kelly marked it. What are his numbers, Ash?
Tim Kelly, 24 touches, leading ball winner for the Eagles.
Red Z Lending Stats, they're with us all year. They're Ash's best friend. So Kelly, down towards half forward. Darling's the target. That's a really good mark. He come down and landed hard, Darling.
It's almost a tunnelling free kick. I think he paid that for.
Nat Nui having a spell on the bench at the moment. Oscar Allen, not sure what he tried to do there, whether he tried to tap it over his head or just missed the mark. He's in a bit of pain though, the big fella. He's fallen. Rather nasty. We'll have a look on the Triple M Harvey Norman replay screen. Firstly, Darling was tunnelled.
Yep, that's a definite free kick there.
Oscar Allen looks really sore on the outer side. Rubber will keep it across it. Keepers across it. We're having a look at the replay now. Oh, he just had a man land right on his back, and that was Keith. He's a big boy, Alex Keith. He comes in at 99 kilos.
Just took his eyes off it, Allen, at the last minute.
Free kick played to the West Coast Eagles. Lipinski didn't deliver the ball like he needed to, and it was holding the ball.
Sure, I'm just curious. Uncontested marks in the second half. West Coast versus Bulldogs.
Red Z Lending Stats, Ross. 32 to the Eagles, only 20 to the Bulldogs.
Tim Kelly has the free kick as Oscar Allen comes off. We'll get down to Robbo in a minute after the goal, but Tim Kelly, the Dogs are a long way back from here. He runs on an arc and smothered off the boot and it goes out of bounds. So much to the delight of the Dogs crowd. Let's head down to the boundary line. Bob Jane T Mart's tyre safety check today, and keep your family safe on the road this Easter.
Allen's actually, they're checking his right shoulder. It's heavily strapped. Also, he's been winded, but they're really looking at that right shoulder, Brownie.
The Eagles doing all the attacking, but they can't land the knockout blow at the moment, Ross. Sheed, back to Kelly. Really got into this game. Comes out to Timmy English with a high ball. Mark will be paid. Rotham sits underneath it and takes the mark. Eagles fans didn't like it. It was a mark. Ryan, he's starting to move around deep. He's got Kennedy there. Geray's pushing and shoving. It goes down towards that contest now. Ryan from behind. Didn't get hands to it. Called him anyway. Bontempelli, now Caleb Daniel.
What about how he's just calling Ryan when he's not even in the action? The ball comes out. West Coast Eagles going to go back in. It was an ill-directed kick. Got it out to Redden, and the Eagles go forward, and Kennedy marks the ball on the lead. He was one-on-one with Caleb Daniel, which really wasn't a great matchup, but they did turn it over, and they were out everywhere, and Kennedy has kicked 4. This is for number 5.
We saw him have a shot from here earlier in the game. You've got to hit this at the left post, Brownie.
And the Bulldogs, just watch them the last 3 or 4 times they got the ball and they're coming out of they just haven't got that forward set up in front of the ball to go to. The Eagles have had 1 or 2 spares, so because they're defending and getting out of the back up, they're losing their shape and the ability to go forward.
6 marks inside forward, 50 ducks edge. You need a little bit of left to right, and he did that, but it just faded a little bit too much to the right on the other side. Started a bit too much in the middle, didn't he?
Yeah.
Bob Jane teammates Mickey Roberts. How's Nick Nat looking down there?
Yeah, he's not looking that flash. He's actually got a white towel and he's had that up against his eye. So, as I said, it's annoying more than anything, but definitely had the eyeball scratched. And with Allen, a lot of force pushed down as he was describing it to the doctor. Right.
Thanks, Robbo. He's got the eyeball poker, Nick Nat. Fisted away. The Eagles controlling this at the moment. Ross, what do the doggies do if you're up in their box?
Well, as I say, I just think they've got to get some better shape in front of the ball. Barras had no one when they were coming out. Here comes Bruce back now from that contest. If they give the Eagles a spare, they can't win this game. They've got to kick 4 goals in 15, 20 minutes. They need to keep their 6 in front of the ball.
Triple M Seabus super special comments, delivering consistent long-term return for members. Seabus, for all of us. Bontempelli drives it forward. Bruce does well. Contest, take the mark. He's got Hunter forward the ball. If he hits him, it'll be a certain goal. Well done, Barras. Floated back, got a fist on it. Goal-saving spoil. 68 the Dogs, 81 the Eagles on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
And as efficient as they've been going forward, so Kennedy and Allen and that, and being accurate in goal kicking, Brownie, I reckon it's been McGovern and Barras who've just shown a bit more aggression. You saw the big spoil here before. McGovern hits it out of bounds. I reckon in the first half they were wishy-washy. They weren't aggressive in the spoil. I reckon there's been a real difference in how they've defended in this second half.
It's the second time I reckon Hunter's had lack of forward craft. He needed to come back up at the ball on that occasion. Make it easy for the kicker. He's only a small man. He's not going to mark them.
And the kicker, don't sit it, put it either side of Hunter so he can run to the ball.
Exactly.
You kick it out his...
On centre wing, McRae, opportunity for the Dogs inside forward 50. Bruce can't mark it, fist to the ground level. Dogs still an opportunity, but Duggan picked up the footy and ran away. Right foot ball outside defensive 50. Now they've got a chance, the Eagles. Cripps, one bounce. Right foot ball, it's a low one down towards half forward. Kennedy can't mark it, well done by Gardner. Got it out of bounds. Another boundary throw in, 13-point lead of the Eagles. We've got 11 minutes 16 to go, so plenty of time for the Dogs, but they look a little bit impotent at the moment.
Oscar Allen, Bob Jane, Robbo.
He's on the bike, Howie, taking some painkillers. Got the rotation back in that shoulder, should be okay, but was in a bit of strife. Right shoulder heavily strained.
At them. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard deep in this second term.
Opportunity today, unless there's a late injury. The Eagles through Duggan. Wafts the ball high on the outer wing. Bontempelli takes the mark, wants to go. That's what they need. A bit of run, a bit of dash, a bit of go. Bruce needs the mark. Rothman one-on-one. He's held an arm. It's going the way of Bruce. This is a big kick from 45-10 inside the boundary.
Seemed like a
big
soft kick.
Yeah, there wasn't much in it.
And a lot of those today. They will pay. Geez, Bont was good, wasn't he? Just had an understanding. Mark. Yeah, as soon as you grab the jumper, that's free kick. Been some soft ones today, but we know as soon as that comes away from your body, as we look at the Harvey Norman replay, umpire had no choice but
clear
to play
hold. You've got to play that.
Yep.
His kick two has Bruce. He's got the Errol Flynn style.
It's beautifully manicured.
Moustache, isn't it? Yeah. Looks like he should have a sword. Robin Hood style. Bruce from long range. Josh Bruce. He's nailed it. What a goal that is. He's got 3 and he dragged the Bulldogs back into this one. Back to a 7-point game. The Eagles 81, the Dogs 74, and we have seen some wonderful goal kicking today from set shots.
Well, I love that. In the first quarter, I think it was, where the 20 steps, I counted them up, it was 19 steps. Beautiful rhythm through them. He did it with purpose. He didn't let the occasion get to him, and he just was sweet again off the boot.
Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard sees it a 7-point margin the way of the Eagles, supporting Sparkies with 7:30am opening hours, trade price and free delivery from over 100 Beacon lighting stores.
Now just watch here for how proactive the West Coast on-ballers are. Nick Nat back in the middle. Sheed just having a little word. It'll be a bit of a fight to see who he's going to hit it to.
And the Bulldogs mids can't let them outside. Push them under. If they're going to win it, make sure it's inside.
It's the Dogs first for a long time. Bontempelli was tackled out the footy and the Dogs will get it out of the middle. Run and carry through. Treloar down towards half forward. Hunter needs to track it back. Can pick it up. He does now. He's got a player in support. Vandermeer goes inside forward 50 to Norton. Got it on his chest. 45 out. 45-degree angle. Here's Duck.
Tell you what, the umpire there, that was a terrible bounce. That gave Nick Nat no chance. I mean, he had to make up so much grit and he ended up
go out of the circle.
Tackling Bontempelli, it was right on the edge of it. I mean, he had to call that back. That's just a complete disadvantage to Nick Nat.
Aaron Norton's kicked the one goal today. This would be massive to bring him back to a point. They looked down and out 5 minutes ago. Norton, listen to that crowd. The Dogs are up and about 2 in a row. That's a 1-point ball game, 81 plays 80. And that's on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Clearances, the Bulldogs, 8-1 in this quarter.
And they panned Adam Simpson in the box. I think he might have had a comment on the bounce himself, Wayne.
I mean, it was. He had to call it back. It was bad bounce. Gave the Bulldogs the advantage. They eventually get the clearance.
Triple M Red Z lending stats, and the Eagles only one hit out to advantage in this quarter. Nick Nat had 8 alone in that third term, and Treloar, he's the number 1 ranked player in this final quarter. 6 disposals and a couple of clearances.
And they've put him inside the game. I think he's been playing on the wing. That's where his best spot is, and he can give you that breakaway speed out of the middle.
Dogs, they've kicked the only 2 goals of the term. It was a 12-point margin at three-quarter time. She's a 1-point ball game at Marvel Stadium. Remot Water built tough for Aussie conditions with the latest technology when it comes to water heating. Install a Ream. What a finish we got coming up here. Nat Nui trying to extract it at ground level. Here come the Dogs again through their skipper Bontempelli to low, sizzling, sliding ball. Eagles, have they brought the ball in under the pack? Are they going to pay it? Is Ray going to pay it? He doesn't. Treloar's going off his chops. Let's have a listen.
No, it's not. It's not. Adam, he's diving to mark the football. Your end zone, Ray.
Listen to that crowd. Massive boos ring out about Marvel Stadium. Stoppage, Treloar, instant forward. Opportunity for the Dogs. McNeil brings it back. Not far enough. It's going to be a behind. And all of a sudden, scores are level. 81 apiece. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. And the Bulldog supporters have gone bunter.
And you wouldn't want to manipulate this, but this would be perfect timing for Joe Hannison to come on with his fresh legs and speed.
I like your thought. I like your thought, Ross.
Shepherd, cousin of the Marsh boy, beats the ball back into the outer side. Darling flies, can't take the mark. Who's going to get it clear here? Kelly, stripped of the football. Outer wing, players coming from everywhere. No one gets it clear. Two-man, what do you like on the Reds' heads?
Yeah, definitely those clearances. Bulldogs got hammered in that third quarter. That's 10-1 in this final term.
So look at the Triple M Harvey Norman replay screen. Probably should have been paid holding the ball. Down towards half forward go the Eagles. Darling, he tracks the footy. He runs it out in front of him. He's got to beat 2 of them. Coming in and helping out for the Bulldogs was Scott. And they got it over the boundary line and out of bounds. West Coast Eagles half forward line scores a level 81 apiece. Boundary, Robbo, Bob Jane T-Marts.
Why would you take Liam Ryan off the ground? He's sitting here. He's a match winner. He's the one that actually should be on the ground and win this for West Coast.
Yep. You're going to get too many disagreements here. Robbo, Kelly runs onto the ball inside 50. Bontempelli just taps it away from him, finds the band right. Oscar Allen's back out there, but Ryan is on the bench.
Don't worry, Robbo. Howie will try and call him even though he's on the bench. So, the boundary throw-in. Still a stack of time to go in this one. 8 minutes and 11 seconds. Nat Nui got it down to Kelly. Only as far as Hunter. Nat Nui laid a tackle on him. Then Nat Nui slapped the ball clear. Eagles high ball inside forward 50. Darling can't mark it. Caleb Daniel tackle with the footy. He gets taken to the ground. Everybody stacks on the middle. It was like primary school. They'll have a ball up 30 metres out from the Eagles' goal.
All square, 7:52 on the clock.
He got monstered then, Caleb.
It was the Dogs by a point at quarter time, 7 at the half. The Eagles by 12 at three-quarter time. Now it's all square. Pro Dogs crowd getting out. They've turned it over, coming out of half back, the Eagles. The Eagles drive it inside 50. Kennedy arrives late. Really well done there. It's a good mark by Steph Martin in the hole.
It's good a mark, as you'll see. Courage from Martin. He's got players sliding everywhere, but not really keen on the kick, and he goes lateral and he finds Bailey Williams in the back pocket, and they look a little bit hemmed in here. The Dogs, a short ball. Finds the right man in Caleb Daniel to get him out of this position. He's on the 50 where the boundary intersects, and the West Coast Eagles are trying to lock him in, so he elects to go with the left. He gets himself some yardage to Norton on centre wing. Probably should have marked that, Norton. West Coast Eagles out the back, but Lockie Neal pickpocketed. One bounce, two bounces, got to Vandermeer. He has a bounce, gets to 30 Vandermeer and nails the goal. Dogs are back in front, 87 to 81. And well done to Caleb Daniel at half-back. Took a chance and took him on. Beacon Trade scoreboard.
So the Brownlow medalist is playing out there. You called him Lockie McNeil. What a loose ball get on the burst. Nothing the Eagles could do about it. But once again, little fumble. I said that'd be the difference.
Very costly to talk. And Norton's work rate. He ran. They held up in the back pocket. He was on the other side of the game. He's ran 100 metres across. Even though he dropped that, he caused the contest, and they ran out in waves here. And the composure at the end of a 60-metre sprint, just to lower it into the goal square and let it run through.
Just a beautiful interception, wasn't it, from Lockie McNeil?
Liam Ryan makes his way back out on the ground. Nat Nui in the middle. Steph Martin setting himself like an Olympic sprinter ready to take him on. They jump high. First hands. Nat Nui, Kelly, they're going to get another clearance. Gaff measures a kick, Sheed straight on the ground. Hits 60 with a low Pearce. Darling's got it, but put Nat Nui's name down there too. And Jack will line up on a 45-degree angle from 40 out.
If we go back to that centre bounce, it was a tap out to Kelly, but all the Bulldogs hunted over, but the discipline of Sheed just to hang out the back and keep his space, get the handball, then he just gets a beautiful clean delivery, with composure into Darling. Just the smarts and the discipline of their midfield.
Jack Darling to tie it up from 30 metres out. It looks good. The Eagles have squared it again. A wonderful game of football we're witnessing. JD's got 3, 6 on the clock, 87 apiece, Ducky boy.
It's a beauty, isn't it? And this is exactly where the Eagles want it.
Well, I just think they're looking vulnerable in the centre square bounce. The Bulldogs take back shoulder, force them in and under, turn it into a bit of a dogfight in there, because if you're letting them outside you, it's pretty clean entry to their forwards. I think they've just got to adjust a little. They've been super at the start of the quarter. Take the risk out of it.
I mean, I don't think I've ever been this excited about Ruckman in my life, Howie. You're just sitting here fascinated to see what Nick Nat's going to do. Where's he going to put it? Is he going to try to put it into space? Does he bring it back? Does he hit it forward? He's got the whole wheelhouse.
You just can't let him get on the outside here.
6 minutes to go. English into the ruck. And going forward, the full forward is Martin. So English a little bit fresher. Up against Nat Nui. Scores a level. 6 minutes to go. Good bounce in the middle. Nat Nui steps around him. Eludes him. Gets it inside forward 50. But getting in front was Bailey Williams. And takes a good sliding mark in front of Oscar Allen. Did really well.
Well, that time, Duck, he just grabbed it out of the ruck and drove it forward himself.
Tricked him.
He's got them all. He's got all the tricks.
Tricky Nicky. They're going to head down to his way here with a kick down the line. Goes over the top of Nat Nui. Big fly from behind from McGovern. Goes across the line. Interchange rotations. Is that your department, Chewy, on the Red Zeds, or is that Robbo, Bob Jane?
Yeah, only 2 to go for West Coast. I had 2 fingers put up, so they're 73. Western Bulldogs 68 with that 6 minutes to go.
Martin back in the ruck against Nat Nui, and the ball goes back over the boundary line and out of bounds. Dom Sheed seems like he's been everywhere today, Ash.
Yeah, well, he's had 25 touches, but 10 clearances. Nick Nat, 11 clearances for him. That's an equal PB, 6 out of the middle.
Just the attacking side of the centre for the Eagles, so boundary throw in. Winning that one was Stephen Martin. Dunkley, can he be clean at ground level? He couldn't. And in the end, Treloar comes in and he's tied up, and this is all on the logo. Direct centre wing.
Nick, Steph.
Nick and Steph. Nat Nui taps it out the back. Heard Sheed's call. He might get her eventually, Sheed, through his legs. Such important moments in the game. All square, 5 on the clock. The Dogs, they drive it forward. English, McGovern. Sport in the end by Shepherd. Norton, little check side runner. Didn't get it exactly where he wanted on the boot, but it's not a bad result because it crosses the line. A metre round from the Dogs' attacking goal. 4.54 all square, 87 apiece.
It just seems tactically that English is going for the centre bounce and then pushing forward, and Steph Martin's coming around the ground ruckman.
Nat Nui at the front of the pack. McRae swings it across the body. Pulls it back too far, did McRae. 3 for 1 behind.
He's had a big quarter, McRae. It's about his 6th ground ball, up around 7 or 8 possessions.
Dogs are in front by a point with 4:44 to go on the clock. Beacon Trade scoreboard.
McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. Classic game of football under the roof at Marble on a Sunday arvo on the M's.
Move it on, please. Play on.
The Dogs lead it by a point. 4:44 to go. The Eagles elect to drive straight down the middle. Nat Nui, Martin. He'll come back the other way through Hunter. Wobbles it towards the attack. 50. Bruce Barras. Barras gets a handle on it. Takes him a while to do that. Bruce mops up. Here comes Hunter for the Dogs. High ball. Can they take a mark inside 50? English. Norton. 1 grab, 2 grab. Spills. Hurd clears the ball to Barras. Fist comes from the Dogs. What a game of footy we've got as the ball goes across the line. 4:15 on the clock.
Good call, Howie. This is a ripping game of footy. It's been a ripping start to the year. Open footy. This is what they come to see. Goals, big marks, everything's happening. Boundary throw him. Nat Nui won it. Bontempelli trying to sock it off the ground. Cripps got a little inch of forward. Oscar Allen can't mark it, but he controls it to the boundary line. And a boundary throw in on centre wing.
4:04 on the clock. The Dogs lead by a point. Nat Nui. Martin. Nat Nui to Kelly yet again. Every stoppage favours the Eagles because they've got Nat Nui. Caleb Daniel spins into trouble and out of trouble and into trouble. Cripps has got him, mugged him. Be a free kick the way of the Eagles and Cripps. Just too far out to score. Liam Ryan's floating around the goal square. No one's on him. They go in that direction now. Liam Ryan sets himself. It's out the back of the pack. Jones for the West Coast Eagles. He celebrates because they're back in front. 93 to 88. 3:31 on the clock. Amazing game of footy this.
Well, Caleb Daniel just under the heat. I know he plays with a composure, but he just took all day to get rid of it there. He just invited Cripps in to tackle him, and then that to the top. They've looked vulnerable there all day, just to the top of the square. Gardner come up from behind, had no impact, and his man stayed down and kicks it. If you're going to come, you have to kill that ball. Yeah. I think he even might have tried to go to the mark there. What does it look like on the replay, Wayne?
The Harvey Norman replay, which is coming as we speak. Yeah, no aggression whatsoever was there in the spoil. It was actually just, it was almost tried to palm it.
Got caught. If you're going to go, you've got to
go hard, yeah.
Jones has got 3 now.
For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M Rocks footy, 13 lead changes. 3 minutes 30 to go. You feel like this game's got a lot in it yet. Who's the hero? Who's the villain? Into the middle, McRae. Can't get it out. Liberatore does. Kick was smothered. Treloar trying to find some space. Dunkley's got the handball. McRae will go from 50. He pulls the kick and gets it to Norton. Brilliant play from the Dogs out of the middle. Great composure.
He's a special player, McRae. Ball in hand.
Well,
didn't panic. Just off the line, lowered his eyes, draw the lead back.
He can get a lot of it and he can be unnoticed, but his influence in this last quarter, I mean, if the Dogs win, he's got to be in the votes, just purely what he's done in the last quarter.
He's an architect with the ball.
Huge kick from Norton for the Dogs to put him back in front. His hands are in the air before the umpire signalled. And you knew that was a good thing for the Dogs. Back in front by a point. 94 plays 93. This game just gets better.
Oh boy, I'm exhausted.
But I think Nick Nat flicked it over the back. Might have been a half little fumble in there. There we go. Oh, well, Liberatore, the determination just to rip the ball out. He's as tough as they come.
Tell you what, McRae in this term, 10 disposals, 5 clearances.
To say he's underrated, I'm not sure, but his influence on games, I think, does get underrated a little bit.
Good kick. Yeah, Harvey Norman replay. Just
aerobic beast.
Pulled it beautifully.
Yeah, 39 for the game for McRae, currently number 1 ranked player.
Bob Jane T-Marth, Robbo.
3 rotations left for the Dogs, 1 for the Eagles. Nelson with cramp. Kennedy giving instructions left, right and centre. They're out on their feet, the Coasters.
Dogs by a point. Game of the season so far. Oh, Nat Nui to Sheed. It's unbelievable to watch this in the middle of the ground. The Eagles are driving forward again. Kennedy comes. Mark Williams not paid. Crowd's going to hate it. Kennedy gets Williams in a big tackle. Umpire comes in. Woo! She'll toss it up.
Oh,
40 out.
We saw a non-holding the ball decision the other night, Friday night.
2:30 on the clock. The Dogs lead by a point.
Liberatore extracts it and then pumps it forward. It was a bouncing ball, hard one to take. Bruce went in hard. So too to the Dogs. Duggan was there. Liberatore got another handball out. Hunter needs his left foot. He can't get it, so he has to do a little backward kick. That's going to be deliberate. Duck called it. He's paid it. He couldn't use his right foot.
Barras plays on immediately. He drives the ball deep into the attack forward line for the Eagles. Coming back with a flight. A couple of players get crunched. Ryan tries to tackle Williams. He kicks hurriedly out of defence and works out beautiful to Lockie Hunter. 1:57 on the clock. Lockie says, I'm going to fake a cramp and take a bit of time out of this one, boys.
That went out with Abba, Lockie.
A minute 50 to go. You look up, 31 minutes gone. Everybody thinks it can only be seconds to go, but a minute 45's a lifetime as they go towards English on centre wing. Couldn't mark it. Redden's handball to Shepherd. Howie's man goes forward. Centre half forward for the Eagles. Bouncing ball. Jermaine Jones has kicked a couple. He can't get it out. Treloar lays a tackle. They're trying frantically, West Coast, to get this ball back. Sock it off the ground. Shepherd's there again. Handball to Gaff. Another one.
At Compares Market, there's surprises every week.
Surprises? Fist to the ground. Dogs win it back.
Dogs, 1:16 on the clock. They lead by a point. They need a mark. They got acres of space on the outer side. Does it go out? Does Bruce keep it in? He does. Oh, he's got Bontempelli. This will be game over. Bontempelli marks. He's got English, but he says, I'm going to take the time out of the game with a minute on the clock. Jeez, I hope he kicks it because he had English absolutely running in on open goal. Clock ticks down, 53 seconds. Bont kicks it. She's done.
Well, if he misses, do they have long enough? That's the question.
Well, there's 45 on the clock now.
I don't mind that he's taking the responsibility.
He's only about a 50%er, isn't he, Two-Man?
Yeah, 57, 52 career set shots, Doug.
Every day of the week, the skipper puts this through.
Bontempelli from 45 to win the game. Oh, Captain Marvel! Bontempelli does the job. Wonderful finish from the skipper. They're all over him in the middle of Marvel. The Dogs lead it by 7 points. 23 seconds on the clock in a modern classic.
Modern classic, Howie.
Well, there was some big plays, wasn't there? McGovern, they pushed McGovern forward. He launched at that ball.
It was the Eagles,
composure.
The Harvey Norman replay. They had the option. They had two short, Brownie. They went for Liam Ryan, which is a longer target, but he had someone on him. All they had to do is
easy one. Uncontested player.
Duck, we need the votes quickly. We're running out of time. We've got to get to the next game.
All right, I'm going to give one vote to Bont, who just kicked that goal. Nick Nat 2, and 3 votes to McRae, who I think's had the biggest influence in this last quarter.
You'd think the Dogs hang on from here. 23 seconds to go, but stranger things have happened, and they can rout them out of the middle here. The West Coast Eagles have done it all day. Nat knew he's the key. Can he get it out? No, he can't. Treloar goes forward to half forward. Bloosh gives away a free kick. An advantage will be paid to the West Coast Eagles. Cole kicks one high.
High ball, 10 seconds on the clock. Ryan flies. This is going to be a famous win for this footy club. Bont saying slow it down. Slow it down. 2 seconds on the clock. What a game of footy. What a win for the Doggies. 7-point margin in Libba's 150th. His old man puffs. And everyone here today will remember this game of footy for a long, long, long time. The Dogs 14-16-100, the Eagles 14-9-93. The Dogs by 7 points. Stick around on the M's. We're going to the West next for Freo taking on the Giants. Stay safe. Have a wonderful weekend. Well done to the Dogs.